Oh, very good evening to you. It's day 2 of the Scottish National Open Swimming Championships. It's finals time, and we are here at Edinburgh's Royal Commonwealth Pool for the Scottish National Open Swimming Championships. I'm Duncan McKinnell, and I'm especially excited today to have joining me in the commentary box 5 times Olympian, Commonwealth gold medalist Alison Shepherd.
Hi,
welcome, Alison.
Nice to be here. Excited to be back in Edinburgh at the RCP to watch some fast finals tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very exciting night. We had some super finals last night, and hopefully there's going to be more of the same. So, Alison, you'll be joining us for about the first half, and then your fellow coach at Stirling Swimming is going to be joining us, Martin Walton. So we're very grateful to Stirling Swimming for you coming and joining us, you and Martin. Here's what's coming up tonight. So it's all finals. We've got some para-finals as well. So we start off with 400 individual medley for male and open, and then 200 IM. That's one where we do our para-finals, as we do for the 100 backstroke following that, male and female. 200 breaststroke, 200 free for male and open, 400 free for the females. Then we've got 50 fly are our sprints today. You were a pretty strong 50 butterfly swimmer in your day. What was your best 50 fly experience?
Well, I did get a bronze medal at the Commonwealth Games. I only
go.
took up the fly the year before the Commonwealth Games, so I had another event before my 50 free, which was my specialised event.
Yes, of course, in your Olympic experience, 50 fly was not part of the programme. It's just coming on this time, isn't it? So
It is. There's a lot of excited people around that there's going to be 50s at the Olympics.
Yeah. We then move on to 1500 freestyle and finish off with the fastest heat. So it's just the fastest heat tonight on the 1500. We've had 2 heats this afternoon, and then we finish off with the fastest heat of the mixed 4x100 freestyle relay. We had a Scottish club record in the medley relay last night, so let's hope that we can finish off with another record in that one tonight. So that's all what's coming up. It's going to be fast and furious, starting off with the 400 IM. The swimmers for the B final are already out in the blocks, so they are getting themselves ready to go. We will have prospectively the junior champion going in this one. That is 15-year-old Nikolai Sisnet from the city of Glasgow. So he's going in lane 1. There you can see the lineup on your screen. Sam Ross goes for Warrender in 2. Kai Connolly of South Lanarkshire in 3, Ian Middleton of Glenalbin in 4, Jack Doherty-Simpson, City of Glasgow in 5, 2 from Derwentside and Gateshead in 6 and 7, that's Benjamin Beale and Luke Littler, both youngsters, 15 and 16 respectively, and Jed Armitage from Highland completes the lineup in lane 8. So 400 IM, what would you be looking for if you had a swimmer in this one, Alison?
Well, they want to control the first 100, definitely, and then build through the middle of the race, and hopefully we'll have a tight battle at the end, so that's always an exciting start to the evening.
In these longer races like the 400, do you want it to be a race, or is it really focusing at this level on getting a good time and actually doing the strategy that you set out to do yourself and not worry about what's going on in other lanes?
I think it's a bit of both. You have to be tactical and work to your strengths, but it's always good to race and not worry too much about the times, because a lot of people focus too much on the outcome instead of the actual process of what is happening. So to be in a good competitive race will always bring the people through.
So we're off and away, and there we go. Then lane, well, there's lane 4, I think, maybe just edging it as we come up to the 50. Ian Middleton has the narrow advantage, not by much, 28.55 against 28.99. So he is taken up there in lane 4 against lane 6, Benjamin Beale. So they've got pretty healthy leads here in the butterfly, but well, we saw throughout the day that who's leading at the end of the butterfly is no real indicator of who's going to win the race.
That's absolutely right. We've got a couple of very strong backstrokers in this race. Jack Doherty-Simpson, fantastic backstroke swimmer, and Nikolai Sisnett is an exceptional backstroker. So we're going to see them probably pull back to catch up to the leaders. As we can see right now, Jack is starting to eat away at that lead.
Yeah, Jack Doherty-Simpson in lane 5 for City of Glasgow. So we've got 2 City of Glasgow swimmers here. It's Nikolai is on the right of your screen there in lane 1. Got 3 swimmers all pretty close there, halfway through the backstroke, and it is Jack leading the way by a quarter of a second from Benjamin and Ian, the early leader. 36.2, you see them much faster there. Jack.
Yeah. He's got such a relaxed backstroke that he's able to carry himself through that with trying to conserve as much energy as possible, because the 400 IM is probably one of the hardest races to do and to train for. So you want to be as fresh as possible going into the breaststroke leg.
So halfway to 16.50, so a lead of about 1.3. Benjamin Beale not that far behind him, so he had a pretty good backstroke as well. There you can see Nikolai closest to the camera there on the bottom of your screen now, and so he's very much in the mix. Ian Middleton's still there, looking quite strong on breaststroke in lane 4, the Irishman from Glenalbyn.
Yes, and Kai Connolly up there in lane... Oh no, Kai Connolly's dropped back a little bit. Benjamin Beale and Luke Littler, I expect, will pull through a little bit on this breaststroke leg.
And Ian Middleton is certainly coming back into the picture. You can see there, 41.6, half a second faster than Jack on that first half of the breaststroke. So by the time we get to the end of the breaststroke, he could just about be on terms with Jack Doherty-Simpson. Then we've got 4 or 5 swimmers pretty close behind. You are right about Benjamin Beale. He is moving up nicely. He has third on his own by about 1.5 meters.
Yeah, third place is going to be a real tussle in the final freestyle leg. I know Jack has got a strong freestyle, so I'm not too certain on Ian Middleton's freestyle, so that's going to be really exciting to watch on the final 100. It's who's going to get the best turnaround on the wall, and not much underwater from Jack, but he's still looking strong.
Yes, so there is not a lot between them here. We haven't seen Glenalbyn at Scottish Beach before, so it's great to have them here. And Ian has made his move here, and he has moved past Jack Doherty-Simpson now. The question is, can Jack find something in the latter stages? As you said, Alison, there's a terrific scrap going on for third here. Lane 3 is Kai Connolly. He's coming back strongly, and Benjamin Beale in lane 6, but turning for home then, Ian Middleton by just over a second. I don't think Jack's going to be able to catch him now. Benjamin Beale in third place in lane 6. He won't catch the leading 2. Is that going to be the order? It's looking that way with Ian Middleton. He did a 4:51.06 in the heats this morning. Came into this on a 4:45. He's going to be just outside the 4:45, but faster than he was in the heats, 4:48.20. So that is the B final taken by Ian Middleton. Jack holds on for second. Benjamin Beale there, very fast, final 50 there, 31.8 on his last 50, but he takes a very good third for Derwentside and Gateshead. Confirmed result for you.
It's always such an interesting race, the 400 IM. With the changing dynamics of the race as it goes through.
Yes, I absolutely agree. I was doing live stream at the National Age Groups with a certain Mr. Patrick Miley, and of course he was full of what is so good about the 400 IM.
Well, he'd certainly know, with his daughter Hannah being such an excellent 400 medley swimmer.
So here they come, the first A final. Peter McGrother for Derwentside and Gateshead into 1. There's James Boddy of Geary going into 2. Finlay Davies of University of Stirling in 3. His teammate Angus Allison makes his way to 4. And another University of Stirling swimmer, Andrew Bertoli, in 5. 6, Lewis Maxwell from Derwentside and Gateshead. In 7, Midlothian's Toby Bullock And in lane 8, University of Aberdeen's Fraser Tetlow. So there was only 3/10 between Angus Allison and Andrew Bertoli in the heats this morning. Coming into the meet, Angus Allison has a 3-second advantage on paper. What does that count for, though? Certainly expect the University of Stirling to be stronger here with this threesome of Allison, Bertoli and Davies. So they will be getting themselves ready. You must have a fair amount of dealings with the University of Stirling team, being neighbours.
Yeah, I've watched these 3 train on occasion, and the work ethic at the University of Stirling is unbelievable. It really is superb, and it's great competitive, friendly rivalry amongst all these guys. I would put some money on Finlay Davies. He got disqualified in one of his races yesterday, so he's out for some blood tonight.
Yes, that was the 200 medley. In fact, he was DQ for, so he wouldn't want to, whatever he did, he wouldn't want to do it in the 400. But he'll know what he did, and he'll know he's an experienced swimmer, formerly of Midlothian, because we've got Toby Bullock from Midlothian in this one as well. So let's see how this works out. Off they go. Out of the start and into their swim. Would you want them to get as close as to the 15 in a 400, or do you not worry if they get quickly into their stroke?
I think it just depends on the swimmer and their conditioning, really. Lots of swimmers you can see will go to 15, but I think on such a difficult race, they might want to conserve some of that energy off the start and just use the momentum off the dive to get into their stroke quickly and not use too much of the oxygen debt of going underwater.
So it's lanes 3 and 5 early on, so Finlay Davies in lane 3, but ahead of him in 5 is Andrew Bertoli, and next to him in lane 6 Lewis Maxwell. In fact, Lewis, I think, in lane 6 is in second place here, but it's Andrew Bertoli, the early leader.
He's a fantastic fly swimmer, though, Andrew Bertoli. So he's obviously using his strength on the first 100 of this 400 IM.
He was 7/10 faster than he was this morning in that 100 fly section, and now it is Finlay Davies who has moved into second. Angus Allison, we'll wait for him in the breaststroke. I think he'll be strong there. Now Lewis Maxwell is just behind the Stirling triumvirate in 4th place. So these 4 are separated from the other 4 now. It's still Andrew Bertoli, a 34.2 there, and that's quite a bit faster than anybody else on that first 50 back.
It is. I'll be interested to see what his breaststroke is like. But you can see that they're not kicking an awful lot on this 400 IM. As like I said before, it's such a grueling event that I think if they can conserve their energy as much as possible to back end it maybe a little bit. But he's pulling away from the rest of the field at the moment.
Yes, looking very strong indeed, as he got about a 4 or 5 metre advantage at halfway, 2:07.67. So that was around about a 68 split for his backstroke. Finlay Davies, 3 seconds back.
Great examples of the back to breast crossover turn there. To get that speed on the wall is crucial.
It's quite a hard skill to teach, I would think, for younger swimmers.
It can be, but if you break it down into parts, it's not as hard as it seems. It looks a little complicated, but if you can teach it early, then the kids pick it up pretty quickly.
So Angus Allison starting to make his move now. He's up with Finlay Davies, but he's still behind Andrew. 2:45 to 2:48, but you can see Angus Allison there, 36.7 against Andrew Bertoli's 38.1, Finlay's 38.3. So you would think it's Andrew, but he's not making too much ground here. Andrew Bertoli has got the bit between his teeth here.
He does, but Angus's breaststroke, I think, is superb. I love the way that he dives down into that wave breaststroke. It really uses the power of his legs to propel him forwards.
So let's see, as he put himself in position to mount an attack on the freestyle, he's about 3 metres back, 3:24.13 against 3:26.02, so nearly 2 seconds he'll have to make up in the freestyle. He's a pretty strong freestyler. Andrew Bertoli will feel that he's got this one in hand and he won't want to lose this lead now. Finley Davies looks like he's going to have to settle for third here. It's going to be a sterling 1-2-3. As we come up to the final turn, we'll see whether Angus has made ground. I think he's made a bit of ground on Andrew Bertoli, but the lead that he got up in the first half, see a 32-3. Well, not really any, only 400s between them there. So Andrew Bertoli, you would think, has got this one covered now. He's about 3-4 meters up. So I think you're looking at the 1-2-3 here. Bertoli, Allison and Davies is going to bring them in. Now just check on the time, because Andrew Bertoli came in on a 4:25. He's going to be just outside that, but well, they won't have rested for this meet. There's got bigger meets to come. 4:28.21. You think he'll be pretty happy with that?
He's had a great race and he's come out on top of his teammates, so I think there's always that one-upmanship in amongst the team. So he's got bragging rights today.
Yep, he as the man, you can see there. Slightly faster on that final leg. Finley Davies, a 30.9, but it wasn't enough to change his third spot. Wait for the result to be confirmed. Finley will be just keeping his fingers crossed that there's not another. Well, there was a DQ, but it wasn't him. It was Lewis Maxwell, unfortunately. Dermot side and Gateshead swimmer. He's a disqualification. So that is the confirmed result. 1, Andrew Bertoli. Silver will go to Angus Allison. Bronze to Finley Davies. So we halve the distance now. As we go to female events, we've got a para final to start with. So you can see the swimmers there just waiting for their call to come out of the call room. Got some very promising, well, experienced swimmers and promising youngsters in this para final. So we'll introduce them as they come. When they come. Here we go. Brooklyn Hale, part of the GB Para squad, swimming SM9, goes into lane 1. Next to her, Grace Robinson, SM14, intellectual impairment for Grace in lane 2. Faye Rogers, what a meet she's having, what a year she's having in lane 3, SM10 from University of Aberdeen. There's Bethy First, such an experienced swimmer from ours, SM14. Another SM14, a great swimmer, Olivia Newman-Bronius, goes to 5. Louise Fiddes of Hatfield, SM14 in 6. There's Sienna Oxby of the para squad, SM14 as well. And Iona Winifred, just 14 years old, a breaststroke phenomenon, SM7, goes into lane 8. So it is about points here, not about where you finish. So just remember that, because Iona Winifred will not finish first, we can be sure of that, but she might well be up there in terms of points. Bethy Firth, what a career she's had, just back from having a baby and back in the pool.
I know, I don't know how she does it. It's unbelievable. To be able to come back and perform at a high level after having a child is, I'll take my hat off to her. I couldn't have done that.
Yes, she came back into the British trials in London, and I think nobody really knew what they were going to get from her. Was she just there for fun? But no, she was there to swim.
Yeah, I remember watching her interviews, and her talking about having her baby, and it's quite remarkable.
Yeah, Faye Rogers, of course, she goes in lane 3, and that world record time, 200 butterfly last night, and she seems to break records almost every time. You can see there has that problem with her right arm that's up there above her as she goes into the water. So safely away. Bethany Firth was the fastest on time in the heats, so she is in lane 4, and she's got the narrow lead here over Olivia Newman-Bronius. That's a straight race between those two because they're both SM14s, so same classification, so whoever is faster in the pool will get more points. And in fact, it's Olivia just getting to the touch after the fly, slightly ahead, 30.46 against 30.76.
That's quick, first 50. for both of them actually. But Bethany Firth's backstroke seems to be quite a lot stronger.
Yeah, so Olivia was a Para-Olympic Games finalist last time round in Paris, and well, she is looking good here.
I always think of the 200 IM as a sprint because we're only doing one length of each stroke, and the changing lead is fascinating because it's such a short, it's 200, but it's still a short distance for each stroke. Very interesting to watch the 200 IM.
Bethy Firth was very strong there in the backstroke, and that's given her a big lead, and the others maybe just struggling to catch her now. Faye Rogers in third place, a different classification, SM10, so we'll have to calculate her points. We'll let you know about that. It'll take a little while for them to calculate the points after the race is done. Pretty much with her is Louise Fides, the third SM14 swimmer. He goes in lane 6, but it's still Bethy Firth from Olivia Newman-Baronius, about just over a second apart. Olivia had the better of the breaststroke. Can she now pull it down, close this gap in the freestyle? Don't think she's going to.
Faye Rogers has got a very strong freestyle. She might even get the third place in this race today, but
Yes,
obviously points are main prizes.
Points, maybe. Yeah, absolutely. As the saying goes, she is, of course, British record holder of 400 free. We'll see her doing that later on today. But it is Bethy Firth holding off Olivia Newman-Baronius. So, well, we know the rankings of the SM14s. The three of them there, 1, 2, and 3. Louise Fides did get ahead by a quarter of a second over Faye Rogers, but we then need to work out the points as we watch now for Iona Winifred to come in up there in lane 8, and just ahead of her in lane 1, Brooklyn Hale, the SM9 swimmer. So Iona might well have quite a high score there, 3:04.65 she did in the heats. So she's nicely inside that, 3:00, and that is a new British record in the SM7 category. Well, it didn't take us long to set up a new record there. Brilliant stuff, Iona Winifred. So I think, that's certainly going to be right up there in terms of points. And we'll watch out for that. But fantastic British record in only our third race.
Well, a nice way to start the evening.
Yeah. So that was absolutely superb, and we'll find out shortly what that means in terms of the points. Meanwhile, we will go to our B final. They are ready, you can see on the blocks, just run through the lineup. We have Millie Searle of Geary, just 14 years old, in lane 1. Erin O'Meara, Aquajets Newcastle, in 2. Zara Kravis of East Lothian in 3. Chloe Harris, Edinburgh University, in 4. Kiana Kurtzer of Warrenabas in 5. Lula Gow of University of Aberdeen in 6. Charlotte Thompson of Midlothian in 7. And Caitlin Ebbage, University of Stirling, in 8. Heat times 2:25 up to 2:27, so should be a pretty close one.
Yeah, makes for interesting watching, especially when you're, you want something to follow after such an exciting para 200 IM. Nice to have close races.
And there's 4 of them after the 50 fly. Very close indeed. Chloe Harris just getting the touch by a couple of tenths, 29.91. From Kiana Kurtzer and Charlotte Thompson, just 500ths apart. So Kiana in the red cap in lane 5. Charlotte in 7. They normally wear green, but she's wearing purple for Midlothian. Coming up nicely in the backstroke is Caitlin Ebbage in lane 8, University of Stirling swimmer. That's a bit of a surprise to see her in the outside lane here, of an experienced swimmer. She's right up there now at the front of this with Edinburgh University's Chloe Harris. So it's the 2 from the universities, first and second, 1:05.84 and 1:06.21.
Yeah, I expect Caitlin just stepped off the gas a little bit too much this morning, and luckily for her, she slipped into that B final in lane 8. Her backstroke is phenomenal. She had a really good fly to backstroke turn there, so it's all the transitions between the strokes are so important, because if you mess up that turn, then you're running out of space to actually catch up on the rest of the field.
And the swimmer who is catching up at the moment is Charlotte Thompson in lane 7, so she's come up very strongly. Always known Charlotte's a strong breaststroker, and she has got the narrow lead now. Seeing that a 41.6 against 43s and 44s on that breaststroke, so very nicely done, 149.41. But the question is, can she hold on to this lead in the freestyle?
Gutsy swim here from Zara Kravich as well, coming down here in lane 3.
But it looks like it is the Midlothian swimmer who's going to get this one. There's no sign of anybody catching her. Zara Kravitz, as you say, is pushing on very strongly in lane 3. Maybe she could get close here. Well, I thought it wasn't going to be close, but, well, I'm wrong. Totally wrong. Wow, 2/10. Zara Kravitz, look at that, 30.8. Absolutely smashed that final 50. And she takes the B final in a 2:22.60. Wow.
Fantastic finish from Zara, though. She really swam through the wall there. That's so important when you're in a tight race, that you don't finish on the last stroke. You have to finish hard on the last stroke, as if you have to take another one. A lot of the times then you're slowing down too much.
So we will have our A final coming up now. To follow that after that grandstand finish. And previously a British record, so what are we going to get in this open final? Evie O'Halloran-Hutchison from Derwent-side and Gateshead goes into lane 1. Her teammate Emily Maxwell will make her way to lane 2. In 3, Paige van der Westhuizen from University of Stirling. 4, Evie Mackey, silver medalist in the 400 yesterday. Susie McNair was the winner in that one. She goes into lane 5, perhaps the favourite. 6 is Anna Farrow, bronze medalist in the 400 IM for Bath University. 7 is Alice Forrest, another from Derwent-side and Gateshead. And in lane 8 from Bath University, Maisie Guilford. So Evie Mackey, perhaps that's a bit of a surprise that she was faster in the heats than Susie McNair. Of course, you know Susie well from the Stirling swimming camp, now at the University of Stirling.
Susie's a tremendous competitor and trains so hard, but so does Evie. So this is going to be so exciting, because Evie's got such grit and determination when she races. She just gives it, every single race she does is the same amount of effort, which is fantastic.
So the fastest time in the heats was Evie Mackey, 2:21.66. Susie and Anna Farrow both entered on 2:16, so let's see if they can get close to that this evening. Evie Mackey was entered on a 2:19. Good strong start from, well, all of them really. Not too much to separate them. Maybe Susie McNair in the black cap there in lane 5, just edging it.
Yeah, I think Susie's going to be giving this one a good go from the get-go. She'll want to have this crown.
Yeah, nice to get an IM double. So she has the 400 already wrapped up, and she's half a second up after the butterfly. Any one stroke better than the others for Susie?
I think Susie's backstroke is exceptional. It's so smooth, she just kind of like floats on top of the water, and you can see that she is kicking quite a bit on this backstroke leg, and her breaststroke, she's worked on that quite a lot recently, so that's improved tremendously. So I think we're going to see a special swim from Susie.
So 1:04.19 for her, and that is 2 seconds faster than she was this morning. It's pretty tight behind her. There's 5 swimmers, all there or thereabouts. Perhaps just lane 6, and that is Anna Farrow, so that's probably not a surprise. On paper, coming into this meet as the second fastest, but now Evie Mackey is pretty much with her on the breaststroke, and they are, well, certainly not losing against Susie McNair here, perhaps picking up, I think, a little bit on Susie's time. Let's just see what the relative splits are. 41.7 for Susie, 41.3 for Evie. So she did pick up about 4/10 there, but she's still nearly 2 seconds back, so you can't see her making that up.
Susie's not going to let anybody catch her on the freestyle leg. She worked so hard on fixing her breaststroke that to give her this lead, she's just pulling away now.
Yeah, she's well clear. The battle is about silver and bronze now. We've got 3 swimmers in the hunt for that one. Anna Farrow and Evie Mackey are really battling it out. It is Susie there, 2:18.29. So really good, solid swim there. Second individual medley gold, assuming that this is confirmed. Evie Mackey, a gutsy swim there just to edge second there from Anna Farrow. 2:20.91 against 2:21.26. Evie will also be the junior champion, 16-year-old, and Farrow second bronze on IM. So in fact, the same 1, 2, 3 as the 400.
Yeah, Evie Mackey's known for her distance freestyle in the past, so she's obviously got that stamina and resilience on the back end of all her races to be able to finish hard and well.
Yes, I'm just looking to see whether we have any information on that. I don't think we do yet. I'm hoping that there might have been some results on the para one, but we'll move on to 100 backstroke. And again, we've got the para final up first. So it was Bjorn Owen going in lane 1 for South Lanarkshire, S9. Akash Das, S8 for Team GB Para. Jason van der Merwe, S14. Louis Lawler, City of Glasgow, S14. There's Jude Gunner just gone out for the GB Para team. Sam Downey, University of Stirling, S8 swimmer. There's Lewis Jones, S9 for the GB Para squad, and Max Davis, an S8 swimmer, so he's the same classification as Sam Downey and Akash Das, 3 S8s. We've got 3 S14s, lanes 3, 4 and 5, so you expect them to be the fastest in time terms, and we've got a couple of S9s, that's Bjorn Owen and Lewis Jones in 1 and 7.
Yes, Lewis Lawler, he's a stalwart of the GB Paralympic team, so he's got a lot of experience. So he should be able to control all his nerves and use that to his advantage.
Yeah, I would think so. It's 2 Paralympic Games, is it? For him? Well, he certainly was in Paris.
He's definitely been to 2 at least. Let's say that.
Yep. He holds the Scottish record as well, so we'll see what he can do. He'll have to get down to a 100 against the 104 that he did this morning, so that's maybe a bit of an ask. Probably not rested, not tapered for this. So Owen, Das, van der Merwe, Lawler, Gunner, Downey, Jones, Davis. 1 to 8. So out of the start and straight away it is Louis. He is, well, pulling it away pretty impressively here.
He really used his underwaters to his advantage there. He had a great start, dolphin kicks, tight streamlining, and then straight up into a fast turnover.
This really is event, isn't it? I think 100 backstroke, I'm sure he would name that as his signature event. 29.9, it leads by about 1.7 from Jude Gunner, so that's, we thought, the S14s at the front of this one. Best of the rest in lane 6 is Sam Downey, so he might have a high score here. The S8 swimmer, also very much a backstroker. So let's see what he can do here. He's looking good. And here comes Louis into the finish. Certainly going to be faster than he was this morning, 1:02.86. An emphatic win there. Jude Cunner and Jason van der Merwe, second and third. There's Sam's time, 1:10.83. That's pretty much the same time as he did this morning, just 500ths faster. Certainly the fastest of the S8s, 3 of them.
Well, that was a lovely improvement from Louis there, from heats to finals. That's like the ideal scenario, to go faster in the night time, so you can control all your nerves.
So on to the B final of the 100 backstroke. And we have Logan van der Merwe of Sterling swimming in 1. Jack Doherty Simpson, City Glasgow, he's back very quickly in lane 2. Maxim Schumreiler of University of Stirling in 3. Callum Peebles, Edinburgh University in 4. Then we have in lane 5, Harry Sharp of Warrender. Harry Cook, Aberdeen Dolphin, he's a junior. And Greer van der Merwe of Sterling swimming in lane 8. So a couple of Van der Merwes, no pressure, Alison.
It's the Van der Meulen sandwich here, Sterling.
So they go in lanes 1 and 8. Is there much competition between the two of them as to who wins, bragging rights?
There used to be a lot like that, but
they've grown up.
They've grown up and they're a little bit more sensible and understand that it's not bad if one beats the other, but something wrong with somebody's ledge, I think.
Well, let's just see what this is all about. So in fact, it looks like, in any case, well, they're all coming out. There's no swimmer in lane 4, in fact. But didn't quite see what happened there, but...
Callum Peebles put his hand up.
Right, in lane 5. So obviously something wasn't right with his ledge, and it does look a bit, skew whiff on the blocks. I can't really tell from here.
It's hard to tell, but now it's time for these guys to just try and stay chill and relaxed.
Meanwhile, I can tell you the result of the female 200. And it was very close indeed. So Bethany Firth, 892 points. She takes the gold by 5 points from Frey Rogers, 887. And then 878, Olivia Newman-Baronas in 3rd place. And Iona Winifred with that British record, 850, has to settle for 4th. So you see, it's not the ledge, it's the block, obviously. So I've had a little bit of trouble with blocks here at the Commonwealth pool at recent weeks. So one of our experts around timing systems and blocks, Rob Payne there, doing what he can to try and fix it with the assistance of the pool staff. So there's going to be a little bit of a break here while they fix that. Quite, well, annoying, I guess, for the swimmers there. They've all got to get themselves dressed again and get back into the zone.
Yeah, that's true, but, you know, sometimes it's not such a bad thing, because this happens not a lot, but it does happen. So it's about mindset now. They have to try and just reel themselves in. So that actually could be an advantage. It just depends on the swimmer, because that could like take away some of the anxiety, that initial anxiety. But it could also work. So now that they're getting more excited, and then they can use that off the start to their advantage. The key is to not be cold. Like, as you can see there, Harry Sharp has put on all his clothes, got his towel wrapped around him, so he's keeping himself nice and warm to the best that he can.
Yes, because of course they were all in the water, so they got wet from that. So that would have cooled the bodies down.
Yeah. As long as this doesn't take too long, it should be okay for these guys.
Yeah, it looks a bit more stable there, as they gave it a good shove, so hopefully there.
That's Logan.
A nice shot of Logan.
Yeah. He's been through this situation before, actually, at the Edinburgh International last year, before his 200 backstroke race. Same thing. So he should be prepared, but you know,
as much as you can be prepared for something like that.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. So confirmation there is no swimmer in lane 4. So 7 swimmers will go in this. Hopefully they are now.
I wonder if Robert Burgess has been called up to the A final.
Oh, maybe, because he was the fastest. So we'll keep
We
an
will
eye out
find
on that.
out in due course.
That's a good shout, Alison. That might well have happened. So in they go. And Callum looks nice and secure on that ledge in lane 5. So hopefully we will get safely away here, and we do. So a reminder of the lineup: Logan van der Merlen, Jack Doherty-Simpson, Maxim Shamryla, empty lane in 4, Callum Peebles in 5, Harry Sharp 6, Harry Cook 7, Greer van der Merlen in 8.
Callum Peebles seemed to, that didn't take anything away from his start. He's leading the field at the moment by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. Maybe lane 3, in fact. Maxim has just got the edge. 27.72.
Maxim's stroke rate is unbelievably high. But I guess he needs it to be like that so he can get there fast.
Yeah, Callum is right there with him now, though, and maybe going to go past, I think, in these last 15 metres. So it is the Edinburgh University swimmer against the Stirling University swimmer. Who's going to get the touch? I think it is going to be Callum, and it is 58.44. That is 4/10 faster than he was this morning. So, as you said, progression from heats to finals, what you're looking for. Came in on a 57.5, so not too far away from that. Within a second, Maxim second. And that's pretty good from Jack Doherty-Simpson there. After that 400 IM to start with.
Yeah, he's not
third there.
He's not had long to rest after that 400 IM, and that, that is a tough event. So for him to come back and do that double is a testament to his determination and his fitness levels.
So Hubert Gadania coming out for our open finals. Bath University in 1, Lucas Brown, University of Stirling in 2. There's Zach Speakman, also University of Stirling, going into 3. Scott Gibson, winner of the 50 bat last night, goes into lane 4 for Edinburgh University. Then with University of Aberdeen swimmer Jamie Ferguson will go into lane 5. 6 is Andrew Brodie, another Edinburgh University swimmer. 7, Archie Evans taking that big breath as he comes out for Bath University. And Robert Burgess, so you were right, he has been called out, and he is going into lane 8. Finlay Davis was scheduled to go there, so obviously he didn't fancy the double. So he has given way to Robert Burgess, who will get his chance in the open final here.
I'm sure Robert's delighted to be in the A final now.
So that is your lineup. Can Scott Gibson do the double? He was fastest by only 1/10 of a second in heats from Jamie Ferguson. They were both B finalists in the British Championships. It was Jamie that was the fastest there. He won that B final in London. And Scott was 5th. Jordan Fail is also in that one, but he doesn't go in this one. I think he's withdrawn. So let's see. That's why Zach Speakman, in fact, was in that B final as well. And so was Andrew Brodie. So plenty of them were all very close in London. Who's going to take the honours in Edinburgh? So out of the turn there, and it looked like Hubert Gadania very late off the blocks, but he's not suffered too much from it. He's right up there. It is Scott Gibson, though, who has the advantage, maybe half a metre up on Zach Speakman in 3.
Scott Gibson's definitely got some credentials as a Scottish record holder in the 50 backstroke.
Yep, so the question really with Scott is can he sustain it in the second half? And well, Zach Speedman got the better turn there. But Scott Gibson's coming back at him. Jamie Ferguson isn't out of it either. So we've got lanes 3, 4 and 5. Stirling, Edinburgh, Aberdeen. Who's going to get the touch here? This is going all the way. Jamie Ferguson maybe is going to get it from lane 5. He does by 0.06 of a second. 56.34. 56.40. Wow. Zach Speedman just behind them. Oh, have we got let's just check on the issue. We've got 2 disqualifications. They certainly had the big ooze as they went off, and that's why Lucas Brown, Andrew Brodie, unfortunately both disqualified. Zach Speakman, 56.8, takes the bronze, so that will be your 1, 2, 3. Jamie Ferguson, very strong in that last 15 metres.
He certainly was. He timed his race to perfection, really. Was able to pull back in the last 10 metres there to secure that win. Just kept himself composed and swam his own race, basically.
So the swimmers coming out for our next para-finals to the female 100 backstroke. We've got Isabella Haynes going into 2, Connie Ratley into 3, Ella Letton-Jones into 4, Tia Johnson into 5, Brooklyn Hale in 6, Amy McFarlane in lane 7. So we have the fastest on time, Ella Letton-Jones, S12 swimmer, partially sighted, and Tia Johnson, S10, Connie Ratley, S9, as is Isabella Haynes and Brooklyn Hale, and Amy McFarlane, S14. And just quickly give you the breakdown in the 100 backstroke para 1. It was Louis Lula taking the gold, 726 points. Sam Downey, 687. And then Jude Gunner, the bronze, in 643 points. So that will be the 1, 2, 3. We'll see them in the podium shortly. Let's focus on this female 100 backstroke.
Just a short delay while they have a look at these blocks. It's another one I think that's a bit loose, perhaps.
I think once maybe one gets a bit shaky, then everybody gets a bit sceptical of it. Are these blocks okay?
I think you're right.
So again, it's not necessarily the first to the wall that will get the highest points, but it could be. And Letton-Jones was the fastest, the S12 swimmer, on 15.50 that time this morning. Ella came in on a 1:13, third in the British Championships in the multi-classification event. So she's certainly up there as one of our leading 100 backstrokers. Beside her in lane 5 is Tia Johnson. So they're going to be 1 and 2 at halfway, turning 36.54 and 37.18.
Great underwaters from these girls here. They look so smooth. It's just flowing backstroke, especially Ella in lane 4 there. Metronomic with the arms.
Good turns as well from Isabella and Connie in lanes 2 and 3, but it does look like Ella is just pulling away now down this second length. And it's very tight now behind her. Ella Letton-Jones, so 1:15.50 in the heats. She's going to be inside that. Ooh, not quite, 1:15.69. She is first home. We'll find out whether that's enough for the gold. Connie Ratley was different classification. S9 swimmer just edging second from the S10 swimmer, Tia Johnson. So you would think that would mean Connie will have higher points than Tia. given that she's got a higher disability factor. Well, it doesn't always work like that. But we will confirm as soon as we can the top 3 on points.
At the Paralympics, do they flash up the scores immediately so people know?
Well, plus Paralympics, they're swimming
in their own
class,
yes.
so it is a straight race.
Yeah. Commonwealth Games, though, is multi-classification.
Yes, it is, yeah. And they were very good in London. They were able to flash the points up immediately. We don't quite have the technology to do that here, unfortunately. We'd like to be able to do it. Maybe one day. So on to the B-final, just confirming that result then. Everyone is safely in just 200ths there between Tia and Isabella in lanes 3rd and 4th place. Here's your line-up for the B-final. We have Rebecca Reid of Aberdeen in 1, Abby McInerney of Inverclyde in 2, Mary Mischenko, University of Aberdeen in 3, Eve Wood of Orkney in 4, Heidi Wren, City of Glasgow in 5, Erin Ferris of Cumbernauld in 6, Marie Wood, University of Aberdeen in 7, and Rosie Forster of Warren de Bath in 8. So times in this one, 105 to 107 from the heats. They're very high off the wall there. Is that?
That's Eve Wood from Orkney. She was very high off the blocks.
How would you want them to be that high? Is that? I mean, I guess it gives you more momentum off the blocks, does it?
I guess that it works for Eve.
Yep.
I wonder if she's competing at the Island Games in Orkney this summer. That'll be a fantastic experience.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she is, because I've actually got the privilege of going to commentate there. So I've seen the start list, and she's definitely on it.
Oh,
I
lovely.
think she is very much the leading light in terms of Orkney swimming at the moment. Her and Alfie Price, who's been a junior champion yesterday. But it's pretty tight here, lanes 3 and 4. Mary Mischenko, University of Aberdeen in lane 3. Eve Wood in 4. Heidi Wren, City of Glasgow in 5. And also in lane 7, Marie Wood of University of Aberdeen. So any of these 4 could take this one with 10 metres to go. Who's going to get it? Maybe it's Heidi in lane 5. I think it is going to be. And she takes it 1:05.05. So that's a full second faster than she was this morning.
A nice improvement for Heidi there. She has a wonderful still head when she swims backstroke. It's so important to be able to keep your head still whilst your body is rotating like that, to get the power in the arms and the...
It must be quite hard to do that, to keep your body still and straight when there's so much rotary action going on from the arms.
Yeah, but that's what makes an excellent backstroke swimmer.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I can tell you that Abby McInerney was the junior champion there, but we're straight into the A final. Laura Ann Marshman going to lane 1 for University of Stirling. 2 is Ruth Fowler of Bath University. Scarlett Ferris, winner in the 50 back yesterday. Perth City goes to 3. There's Anna Green, the fastest qualifier for Edinburgh University. Millie Mainwaring for City of Glasgow in 5. Sophie Weston, Bath University in 6. 7 is Jemima Hall, also Bath University, in lane 8. And Amy Shields for Edinburgh University in lane 8. So I'm sure Scarlett Ferris would love to get the double here, but she's probably not the favourite for this one.
She certainly has the speed over the 50 from yesterday. I know she's been training out in Nevada, so she's in that collegiate training system, and it's obviously doing some great things for Scarlett.
Yes, she certainly was very impressive yesterday in that 50 backstroke and really won that very comfortably indeed. So expect her to go out faster. Will she temper it and try and use that speed in the back end? Be interesting to see what she does here.
I'd be surprised if she doesn't go fast for the first 50 and use that speed through the wall to get the momentum coming back.
Anna Green will be looking to pick up the win here. Quite a long way down the rankings in terms of the entry list. On 103.9 she was entered on, and she was pretty much on that this morning, so she'll be looking maybe for a best time here. I'm sure she'll have to do that if she is to win. Again, there you saw something strange there. Scarlett Ferris quite slow up onto her start position, but well, you are seeing, your prediction is absolutely right, Alison. She is moving clear away. So she'll be looking to use this speed in the first half and hold on, but they're coming at her, led by Anna Green in lane 4. So that is not going to be a big lead here. So is she perhaps just holding back a little bit for the second half?
I guess we'll see. Well, she's got a really good underwaters. I guess maybe that is helped by swimming short course yards out in America. Yeah. So many turns.
Yeah, so he's picked up on that, but now coming under pressure once again. Millie Mainwaring going nicely in lane 5. Could she take it? Don't discount Jemima Hall in 7. And we've still got Anna Green in the dark cap in lane 4. This is going to be really tight as they come in here. Let's see who's going to get it. I think it might be Millie in lane 5. I'm pretty sure that will be her first ever Scottish Championship title. Millie Mainwaring of the City of Glasgow. She's having a great season in Glasgow. 1:03.37 takes the win, subject of course for it being confirmed. Now you have it. By 1600ths from Anna Green in second. And it was Jemima Hall in third place.
That's a lovely improvement from her heats to her final swim. Really kept herself composed going down the first 50 and really built into the swim. She is having a great time out in Glasgow there, Millie there. Yes. It's obviously doing her some good.
Absolutely, she has come on leaps and bounds this year. She was West Lothian before that, and clearly is enjoying the challenge of the new program and university life. And it's funny because you sometimes see swimmers struggling to adapt in their first year away from home in the university setting, but not Millie. She's thrived on it.
Yes, she has indeed.
So we have a first presentation of the evening now, so we're just getting ourselves organised for that. This will be for the 400 individual medley and the 200 individual medley. I think we'll be doing both of those just now, so just getting sure that we've got the right athletes and getting themselves sorted. So expecting to see the male 400 IMers out any time now. And here they come. It's a University of Stirling trio. So they will be getting the presentation. Oh, we needed some medals and someone to present it now, and then we can get away. Here we come. And it is Tony Dane, the Vice President of the Scottish Amateur Swimming Association, making these presentations. So the bronze medal will go to Finlay Davies, University of Stirling. The silver medal to Angus Allison, University of Stirling. And the gold medal, his teammate Andrew Bertoli, the Scottish champion. And the Scottish junior champion is City of Glasgow's Nikolai Cisnet.
What a talent Nikolai is.
Yeah, big boy, isn't he? 15-year-old, bigger than Andrew there.
Yeah, he's tall.
Yes, I mean, ever really since he first came into age group swimming, he's been right up there. And of course, the challenge is to keep that progression going as they go through their teenage years, isn't it? And keep very focused on the ground, that this is a marathon, not a sprint.
He's very humble as well, so you know,
nice.
he's in a good position to keep that carrying forward.
So we'll be then moving to our 200 individual medley presentation, starting with the para presentation. just wait for them to come out. And we'll still wait for them to come out. Hopefully there won't be too long. Just getting themselves organised, make sure we get the right medals to the right person. As we sort that British record, but it seems to someone not quite right that you get a British record, but you don't get a medal. Iona Winifrith.
That's right.
So we'll not see her on the podium, despite that terrific. I mean, that was 2.5 seconds she took off the British record, so really good. I'm pretty sure she won't be done with that yet, just 14 years old. So expect that to go under the 3 minutes in the not too distant future, perhaps in the summer. So here they come, your para medalists. So the bronze medalist is Olivia Newman-Baronius. Silver medalist. You know this person well, Faye Rogers, regularly up on the podium. And your gold medalist, Bethy Firth from Ards in Northern Ireland. What a performance. Talked about that earlier. Remarkable.
Wonder if her child comes to the pool.
Yeah, well, that's our challenge to find that one out then, isn't it?
I will, I'm going to ask her.
Yeah. Hopefully Dad can do the looking after while Bethy gets her serious work underway in the pool. Here come our open medalists. So the bronze medal goes to Bath University's Anna Farrow. The silver medalist, South Lanarkshire's Evie Mackey. So second medley silver medal. And it's a second championship medal to University of Stirling's Susie McNair. And Evie is also our junior champion. And that's her second junior medal as well in the individual medley. And they get commemorative plaques to treasure. Imagine Susan's got a few of them.
Yeah, she'll have quite a collection, I imagine.
What do you do when you fill the glass cabinet and the mantelpiece? You must have had that problem.
They go in a drawer or a shoebox. I got presented with a big giant box from my father. Here you go, take this
Yeah.
home.
And when you were very young and you got that first medal ever,
Oh,
have you still got
pride
that
and
one?
place. Probably in that giant box.
Right, let's move on. Next up is 200 breaststroke. No para swimming in this one, so we go straight to RB final. There is your lineup: Kai Connolly, South Lanarkshire; Gregor Ross, City of Glasgow; Chap Mitchell, University of Aberdeen; Matthew Garrity, City of Glasgow; Johnny Martin of Perth City; Fraser Tetlow for University of Aberdeen; Fraser Dow of Perth City; and Luke McCall for Warren Baths. So off they go. 2:29, Matthew Garrity, the fastest qualified, very much a breaststroke specialist. Matthew learnt his trade at Inverclyde, been at City of Glasgow for a while now. Beside him in lane 5, Perth City's Johnny Martin. And Johnny's off to a good start. He has the early lead. 17-year-old from Perth. Also a good start in lane 7, his teammate Fraser Dow. So Perth, are they going to be 1-2 at the 50? It's close for second. No, Matthew just got second. At 31.94, Johnny Martin leads the way.
Yeah, that's a pretty handy first 50 for Johnny there. But he's not going to have it all his own way. I don't think Matthew Garrity seems... He seems a lot more in control. His stroke is a little bit longer, a little bit slower, and he's just pulling ahead of Johnny now. I wonder if Johnny went a little bit too hard on the first 50.
Yeah, it looks like Matthew has now gone past him. Johnny's 17-year-old, Matthew 21-year-old, and that experience perhaps coming to bear here on 08.85. So you can see there a 36.0 against a 38.8. So Johnny perhaps getting a little excited off the wall there from
Still
the beginning.
Quick first 100 for most of those boys, but particularly Matthew, obviously. And he's just keeping it nice and long, diving down into his stroke, not panicking. Nice and smooth going into that last turn.
Yeah, so he's now firmly in control of this one. Jack Mitchell has moved up in this third 50 in the white cap in lane 3, so he's now vying for a top 3 position along with Fraser Dow, who's now just behind him in third place. So it is now very much Matthew Garrity and then the rest. And it does look like Jack Mitchell is the favourite for second from, well, fairly close for third. Fraser Dow in lane 7. And then we've not talked about Fraser Tetlow, but he's in the mix. And so is Gregor Ross, the second City of Glasgow swimmer. But it's Matthew Garrity. So 2:29 was his heat swim. 2:19, so much faster on paper. And he's in between those. 2:26 was his time there. 2:28 for Jack. 2:30 Gregor Ross. That's your 1, 2, 3 in this B final.
Yeah, nice drops from heats to finals again for these guys.
I imagine Matthew will be heading down to Sheffield for the Next Gen Championship, so presumably that will be his target meet for the end of season.
I expect that's what the case is.
So now to the open final. Just waiting for them to come out. Here they come, Lachlan Small from Stirling Swimming in lane 1. William Godsall of Bath University in 2. Joshua Mitchell, Edinburgh University in 3. Bronze yesterday in the 100. 4, Christian Ryan from Bath University. 5 is Callum Melville, University of Stirling. 6, Dom Bissett, University of Stirling. 7, Rafe Dobson, silver medalist in the 100, goes into lane 7. Also University of Stirling, and Ben Rogers in lane 8 from the University of Aberdeen. So Lachlan Small, junior swimmer from Stirling Swimming, and he is very impressive this season. He's having a series of great swims, isn't he?
Yeah, he was absolutely delighted to make the A final tonight as well.
Yeah,
so
that's a real feather in his cap as a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Up against these very experienced swimmers. Christian Ryan, the fastest, 2:19.64. He was also the fastest entry time. He was 4th in the British Championships. That just shows you the calibre of swimmers we're dealing with here. So a whistle goes to bring them under orders. We splash around there in lane 5 from Callum Melville, second fastest qualifier, just 6/10 back in the heats from Christian. You would think this should be Christian Ryan's race, but you never know. Off they go. So out of the dive, good start in lane 2, William Godsall from Bath University. On his left-hand side, Joshua Mitchell and Christian Ryan and Callum Melville, all fairly close.
Yeah, the Bath University boys have got lovely long ranging strokes there going into their turns. Very fast around the wall, driving their knees up to get themselves around quickly. Look how long their strokes are.
And there is very definitely a sort of 200 breaststroke technique. I always think of Ross Murdoch and his 200 breast style, and you're seeing a bit of that, I think, here compared with the sprinters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sort of an Adam Peaty is very different.
There's no way you could do Adam Peaty's stroke for 200. I'm sure he's tried.
1:06.31 at halfway. And it is Christian Ryan that has just edged into the lead from Callum Melville. Love to see a good swim from Callum. Had a bit of a lean period recently, Callum. Is absolutely fantastic junior, but just now looking to make these ranks into the top level of senior swimmers. And he's giving this a good go in lane 5. He's right up there with Christian. Just behind them in lane 3 is Joshua Mitchell. So he's showing he can do the 200 as well as the 100 that we saw yesterday. So still just quarter of a second between Christian and Callum. 1:42.07 and 1:42.30.
Now we'll see that style change ever so slightly as they speed into the last 25 metres. It's all about the race now.
Yeah, and we have a race as well, don't we? Because Christian is being pushed all the way here by Callum Melville. I think they're just pulling away from Joshua Mitchell, so it's the two of them. I think Christian is just going to do enough to take it. But, well, Callum has given it everything here. But, ooh, and a great finish from Joshua Mitchell as well. Nearly came and snatched silver. 15 hundredths behind Callum, though. It's Christian Ryan with a hard-fought win there. I thought maybe he thought he was going to get it easier than that, but, well, that was a tough one. Callum Melville, very nice swim from him, and Joshua Mitchell in third. That is your confirmed result. Lachlan Small in a 2:27. So that was faster than he was in the heat, so that's be good progression there. He will be the junior champion, as you said, making it into the open final as a 16-year-old. Terrific. And then going faster than the heats as well.
Yeah, he wasn't phased at all.
Yeah, very good to see. So we now move to the female 200 breaststroke. B final is first up. There's your line of 8. Lucy Stowes, University of Stirling. Ella Thompson of Perth City. Abby Whitfield, determined side of Gateshead. Perry Scobie at Stirling Swimming. Millie Searle of Geary. Maid Rogers in 6 for Warrender. 7 is Gabriella Winton of Montefieth, and 8 Inga Eriksson from Nexus in Singapore. So the times here in the heats, 2:43 up to 2:49. We've got 2 juniors will be battling for the junior title. That's Ella Thompson in 2 and Millie Searle in 5. 14-year-old Millie, 15-year-old Ella. So that's a sort of sub-context going on here. We start from Inga in lane 8. I seem to remember she went out fast in the heats as well and then had to sort of hang on for grim death at the end. So we'll see what happens here. Perry Scobie in lane 4. Perhaps now just edging into the lead. Beside her is Millie Searle. Not too much between them. Also lane 6, May Rogers. Lucy Stokes, in fact, turning first, 36.97 from lane 1. So we'll keep an eye on her as this race progresses.
Yeah, not really an awful lot in it at the moment. Just got to try and keep your cool down that first 100s and then turn on the jets on the second half.
So Perry, one of yours in lane 4. So what would you expect from her here?
Well, Perry needs to keep her head in her own lane, basically, and just swim her own race, keep her stroke nice and long for the first 100, round the walls quickly, as they all do. So we'll see how she manages to pick up her tempo a little bit now on the second 100.
So she turned third, but it does look like she is picking it up here. But so in lane 1 is Lucy Stowe. So Lucy, University of Stirling, formerly in Dundee. And she is holding this lead pretty nicely here from Perry, who's now moved up into second, just ahead of May Rogers in lane 6. So the other three, Millie Searle not out of it either in lane 5. So let's see it. The 150 turn is going to be pretty close now between Lucy and Perry.
Yeah, Lucy's doing a tremendous job in that outside lane. No one spotted her, I think. But Perry's third 50 was the fastest there, so she's definitely strong coming back on now the last 25.
Yeah. Still got some work to do to get this one, but I think she's up for it. Does look like she's maybe just edging past Lucy now. And Rogers still holding third ahead of Millie Searle, who's winning that junior battle. But it is looking like Perry Scobie is going to take this one. So nicely managed race here. Was in the pack at halfway, pulled through strongly in the second half to take it in 2:42 exactly. So about a second and 3/4 faster than she was in the heats.
I think it's only marginally outside her best ever time as well, so that's a great performance from Perry there.
Yep, so it came into this meet on a 2:41, so not far from that at all, just 7/10 with Lucy second and Millie Searle. So Millie will be the junior champion, but Perry taking the B final. So out they come for the open final, led by Nuala Cow going into lane 1 for the University of Aberdeen. Cora Lanham, Bath University in 2. 3 is Hannah Bowley of Edinburgh University into 4. Fastest qualifier Anna Morgan of Edinburgh University. Perhaps the favourite winner yesterday in the 100, Cara Hanlon, Edinburgh University in 5. There's Emily McGee in 6 for Dundee City Aquatics. Anna Finlay, Derwent-side and Gateshead, goes into 7, and Emily Morgan Hughes of Bath University in lane 8. Expect this to be an Edinburgh battle here. We've got 3 of them. They did sweep the podium in the 100 yesterday. They probably will do the same here, do you think?
I think you're right. I was just going to say that. I think it's going to be a very exciting race, but also those girls will have their own race plans, but they'll all know each other very well, so they'll know probably what everyone's race plans are. So that the key is to not be distracted by your competitors and just swim your own race, stick to your plan, and hopefully it works for any of them. I don't mind which one.
Cara Hanlon, silver medalist in the British Championships, behind Angharad Evans, who's off in Rome this weekend. So she'll be looking to do the double here, but Anna Morgan has always been just snapping at her heels, and she's been in great form this season as well, also a British Championship finalist. So let's see how this one works out. As I said, Anna Morgan faster in the heats this morning by around about half a second.
Yeah, and Emily McGee in lane 6, I know, was very disappointed to come 4th by such a small margin in the 100 that she might be out for some revenge here if she can step up to the 200 breaststroke.
Certainly it looks like Cara Hanlon means business here. She's out very strongly here, already a body length up, 32.99. We talked about the Island Games earlier with Orkney. She'll be representing the Western Isles at the Island Games. She is the record holder for the Island Games.
Really?
No great surprise there. Yes, she is.
Oh, so she's going there.
She's going there, but going to be coached by her dad.
Lovely.
So she's got a big lead here over Anna Morgan. So I thought this might be closer than this, but well, certainly based on the first half's evidence, Cara means business here.
And maybe she just feels she's got a point to prove. She was so good on her own for such a long time, and then to have some real competition coming up through the ranks, now's her time to shine again.
Yes, I mean, she's been so unlucky in her career recently, hasn't she? She's been so close to the major world championships, very close to getting selection for Paris and just missed out. And, well, I think she probably does feel that she's not done yet. And I guess it'll be Glasgow 2026 will be a big focus for her now. But look at this. She is absolutely dominating this one. Through the 150, 147.75. Just check her split in the heats. It was a 155. So, wow, 7.5 seconds faster here. And she's left everybody for dust, really. It's going to be tight for third because it's Anna Finlay who's in the battle here against Hannah Bowley. It does look like it will be in Edinburgh 1-2-3, but well, this is all about Cara Hanlon. Absolutely superb. I think for me, this is the race of the night so far. Cara Hanlon completely in charge of this one. Comes in 2:26.30, and that is only half a second away from her entry time. Only, a couple of seconds away from the time she did in London. So brilliant stuff. 5 seconds clear of Anna Morgan. Hannah Bowley does take third. Edinburgh University do sweep the board. So congratulations to them, but particular congratulations to Cara Hanlon taking that one.
Yeah, that was fantastic from Cara. Really setting up for her summer out in the Orkney Islands then for that, the Island Games. So the Island Games is like a mini Commonwealth Games. I went there in 2005. I was invited once I had just retired to present some medals at the swimming competition, and we had a fantastic time. It was in Shetland that year.
Right. Yep.
So yeah, awesome.
Yes, it should be fun for her, and I know she's very proud of her Western Island roots. I think that's us done with you, Alison.
Yep.
Thank you very much for all of your insights in, and we're going to be joined by your colleague Martin Wolfson anytime. He's sitting here waiting patiently to come in. So thank you very much, Alison. Really enjoyed this last hour and a half or so.
Been great. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
I'm sure we will. So we have a presentation while we do this changeover, and this is the backstroke para presentation. So the bronze medal there is going to Jude Gunner, the silver Sam Downey, University of Stirling, and gold there being picked up by Louis Lawler. So he is our para gold medalist. That's mute and switch it off to be live.
Yeah, okay.
So while we wait for our next presentation, which will be the Open 100 backstroke, chance to say hello to Martin Wolfson, who's smoothly walked into the commentator's seat here. Big thanks to Alison, who's kept that seat very nicely warm. You've got a hard act to follow. Alison was absolutely brilliant with her insights. No pressure, Martin.
Good evening, everybody. I'm really excited. It's a big name to follow, Alison, so I'll try my best. But really excited to be on the comms today. Something I've actually always wanted to do, so when I was asked, I thought, perfect. And we're substituting in and out due to the coaching of the Stirling Swimming Club, so looking forward to it.
So just confirming here, the medalists in the backstroke. So the bronze was Zach Speakman, silver Scott Gibson, just couldn't quite do the double after his 50 yesterday, and the gold, a very tight race, Jamie Ferguson, University of Aberdeen, and that's the junior title there. And that one, the junior title, Harry Cook, Aberdeen Dolphin. So we will next have the presentation for the female 100 backstrokes, and that will be starting with the para medalists. So they will be coming up very shortly. So it didn't quite go with the time lines because we have that very tight contest, just 200s in it between the S10 swimmer and the S9 swimmer. So it means the S9 swimmer, which was Isabella Haynes, just got more points with a higher disability factor. So she jumps up the queue into bronze medal position. It looks like we've only got two coming out at the moment, so hopefully we'll get the third. because I can tell you that the bronze medalist was Isabella Haynes on Team GB Para. It doesn't look like she's there at the moment. The silver medalist, Connie Ratley at Team GB Para. She's the S9 swimmer. And she picks up her silver medal. Derek McCown, the president of the Scottish Amateur Swimming Association, doing the honours for us, and he will be presenting the gold medal to the S12 swimmer Ella Letton-Jones. 719 para points for Ella, partially sighted swimmer. So they are our 100 backstroke para medalists. Congratulations to them. And now we go to our open presentation. And that was a tight contest, wasn't it? And whether you got a chance to see that, Martin, it was really tight contest. Millie Mainwaring just touching out Anna Green.
Yeah, I got a chance to watch that one. Fantastic racing. I think when it comes down to the wire with so many on that final 10 metres, it's just a brilliant watch. So well done to the three of them that medalled.
Jemima Hall, the Bath University, gets the bronze. Anna Green, Edinburgh University, picks up silver. And Millie Mainwaring looking pretty pleased to get the gold medal, is the Scottish national champion. And the junior champion is Abigail McInerney. She's having a good fistful of junior medals so far this weekend. Inverclyde swimmer doing very well for herself. So that's us done with our presentations in this sequence. So our next event will be 200 metres freestyle. So Martin, obviously coaching at Stirling at the moment, Commonwealth Games athlete. Tell us about that experience.
I mean, the Commonwealth Games was unbelievable. Qualified originally in the 50 backstroke, went on to swim the 50 and the 100 individually, and was part of the heat team for the 4x1 medley. The four boys, Craig McNally, Ross Murdoch, Duncan and Evan Jones went on to get a medal. So
you got a medal?
Yeah, I got a medal.
Absolutely great.
Bit of a bizarre one, getting the presentation kind of behind the scenes in the cool down area, but what an amazing experience.
Yeah.
That was my last swim, so yeah, what a way to end it.
Nice way to finish.
Absolutely.
Yep. So you can see the para swimmers coming out for the 200 freestyle. So Rhea Rogers will into Louis Lawless, second swim of the night for him. In 3, Jason Van der Moe as well in lane 4. Harry Stewart had a great night last night. Goes in lane 5, S14 swimmer, as is Jude Gunner in 6. And Jack Milne for University of Aberdeen in 7. So all these swimmers S14. So that makes life simple for us, because whoever wins is the gold medalist. We don't have to worry about points in this one, although they'll probably be interested in what their point score is. But we'll know the 1, 2, 3 once they touch. Fastest in the heats, but not by much. Jason Van der Moe, 2:05.18 against Harry Stewart's 2:05.75. Also, of course, already seen Louis Lawler taking gold in the backstroke, so he's back again. Pretty decent 200 freestyler as well, stick Glasgow swimmer. Amazing physique, Louis, isn't he? Such a strong build.
Absolutely, something really important for that 200 free to be really have a good physical presence.
So away they go. So there's around about a 6-second spread based on the heats evidence between the 6 of them. Of course, they knew that they were all going to qualify in the heat, so it was a bit like the phony war, I suppose. Yes, this is the serious business now. Rhea Rogers, who has this fantastic moustache, goes out in lane 2 for Basildon and Phoenix. And he's just first to turn from Louis Lawler, just a 10th apart. Jason Van der Merwe and Harry Stewart, 3rd and 4th. But the action at the moment, lanes 2 and 3. So is that how it's going to work out? Can Louis get a second gold of the night? If we look on paper, in terms of entry times, it was Harry Stewart with the fastest entry time, so he might come storming through in the second half. He's in lane 5, so he's about 4th at the moment as they go through halfway. 1:00.08 Rio, 3/4 of a second up on Louis. How do you see this working out, Martin?
Absolutely fascinating race so far. Obviously, Rio's taking it out strong. What I love about the 200 free is it's such a tactical battle. We're going to see people pushing the second, the third, and the fourth 50s here. So I think we're going to be building up for a good climax here, because you can see Louis just building his way back in. So I think it's going to be fascinating as we turn for the last 50.
Yeah, Jason van der Merwe as well. As you can see their relative splits there. 32.7s from Louis and Jason, 33.2 from Rio. So for Rio, it's about hanging on here as they come down the final length, and there's got a 3-way battle on our hands here. Louis Lawler, the local favourite, trying to get double gold tonight, but it's Jason van der Merwe, might just be ahead of him here. But Louis is coming storming back, using his sprint capability. It's going to be on the wire. Who gets the touch? Jason does by 15 hundredths. Wow, what a swim that was. Louis Lawler second, Rio Rogers third, and as we said, we know we don't need to worry about the point. All S14s. That's your 1, 2, 3. What a race! Oh! What was that about? Must have been at the start, you would think.
I'm not 100% sure, because there's not loads of stuff you can get disqualified for in the freestyle event. So yeah, potentially a false start there, but hopefully we get that confirmed. But what a race that was. As I was saying, all the different tactics came into play there, and we've seen an excellent last 15 from Louis and Jason. Shame about the disqualification.
That is a shame about the disqualification, but that just confirms then Louis Lawler, the gold medalist. Rio Rogers will take the silver after that very fast first half, and Harry Stewart the bronze. So double gold for Louis after all. Wow. So our B final is up next. There's your lineup: Isaac Dodds, Bath University; James Boddy of Geary; Aaron Olkos, University of Stirling; Cedar Gullen, Edinburgh University; Leon Molam, University of Stirling; Rory McKinnon, City of Glasgow in 6. Nathan Potter is in 7, and lane 8, Joshua Press. So off they go. Entry time, well, heat times 1:56. Actually got a reserve coming in here. Cedar Gullen is in as reserve, so he's actually the slowest on paper despite having lane 4. I wonder if that means that there's somebody being promoted into the open final. I suspect it is. 25:15, Aaron Olkos then first through the turn from lane 3. And that's quite a big lead, isn't it, early on here?
Absolutely. I actually spoke to Aaron earlier. I had the pleasure of coaching him in 2023-2024 season. He did say he was going to get out fast today. Lovely high elbow recovery and really gliding over the top of the water now. I guess it's a question of, can he hang on through this final 100? But an excellent start from Aaron.
Is this his signature event, or is he stronger in the shorter events?
Mainly the 100 free is his best, so not surprising to see him use his speed here and try and get out in front. But he's doing an excellent job so far on this third 50, kind of holding that lead on the rest of the field. Yeah,
it's hard to see anyone getting close to him now, you would think, as we come up to the 150, unless he really blows up. He goes through 1:22.35, 29.5 split there. Let's check on the others. They're still slower, 29.9, so this is looking very solid now for Aaron as he comes down the final leg there, 1:22.35. So, well, he should be well inside his 1:56 that he did in the heats. Just checking on his time, he comes in 1:53. I think he could certainly challenge that here. 1:53.5. And is he going to be inside them? He's going to be there or thereabouts, just around it, 1:53.68. So right on his best time that he did in London at the British Championship. So he'll be pretty happy with that at this stage in the season, I would have thought. And the way he did it as well.
absolutely. What a brave swim. Dropping down to 31.3 on that back 50. But just the way he sent it out there, it's a brave thing to do, because you know you're going to be physically hurting a lot down that last 50. So to stand behind the block and to commit to that race plan is an incredible effort, to be fair to him, and he's pulled out a really quick time there. So excellent work.
Yeah, you've got to love to feel hurt.
Absolutely,
if you're a
yeah.
200 freestyler.
That's definitely a mindset as you're standing behind the blocks to commit to that.
So out they come for the open final with Zach Slater going into lane 1, Scott Fleming in 2, Matthew Baker in 3. We just saw Finley Club there, and University in 4. Then it's all University of Stirling. Arvin Chahal in 5, Henry Baker in 6. There's Josh Denham going to lane 7, and Peter Allen in lane 8. So we've got 5 from University of Stirling, 2 from Edinburgh, that's Zach Slater in 1, and the fastest qualifier, Finley Club, in 4, and the solitary bath swimmer, Matt Baker, in 3. So Finley Club will want to see off these University of Stirling upstarts. He was just 400ths faster than them in the heats. Arvin Chahal has been a bit of a beast so far this weekend. He was very fast off. Do you think he might do what Aaron did there, go out really fast?
Yeah, I think he might do. Obviously, he won the 100 yesterday. He's got a great background in the 200. I believe he's off to the World University Games and the World Champs in the summer. So he's got some good international pedigree behind him. So yeah, I'll be expecting him to take it out fast and try and hold on. But you're right, Finley was brilliant this morning. So I'm hoping we've got a brilliant race here. Again, we've had 2 excellent ones so far.
Yes, Arvin is Malaysian, I think I'm right in saying.
Yeah, Malaysian.
That's who he's to be representing in those international competitions. So we wish him luck with that. But here, representing his university here in Stirling. And away they go. So in the centre lane straight away, I have about half a metre on the others. Finley in 4, Arvin in 5. Not much separating them, and then about half a metre up on Matt Baker in 3 and Henry Baker in 6. So we've got a subcontext of who's going to be the best baker in town. 25.73, Arvin leads by 1500ths. Interestingly, that's actually slower than Aaron Oaker's 50 split.
Is, absolutely. Yeah, a little bit more control from these boys here, so probably expect them to be coming back strong on the way back. But again, you can see from both Finley and Arvin, high elbow recovery, keeping it nice and relaxed, but really forcing those arms through. It's getting them through to 100 in a pretty quick time here.
So Finley, 53.73, has now moved into lead, half a second faster on that 50 than Arvin was, and Henry Baker a pretty similar split. Matthew Baker, I think maybe just still in 3rd, but it is Finley Club who's got now a bit more than a metre's advantage as we come up to the 150 turn. So he's had a good third 50 here. That's opened himself up nicely. Has a bit of a margin to play with here, about half a second.
Yeah, Finley's got some really nice stroke length there. You can see how far he's reaching with every stroke. Really allowed him to power through that third 50. So Chase is on for home now. I think Arvin's trying to make his way up, and then we got the Bakers on the outside doing a cracking job. So
can Finley hold off from the Arvin Chahal challenge here? He's still got the edge, but it's getting mighty close as they come in. But Finley, I think, just got it. Yes, he did. 1300ths in it. Now, you wanted a fast race, you got a fast race. You wanted a close race, you got a close race.
Yeah, we've had 2 really close ones, and then it's nice to see some real different tactics here. I think that'll be a good thing for any young kids watching, to see that you can swim the 200 free in a multiple of ways, and actually having the ability to be able to change your tactics and slightly tweak is really important. So I thought it was great to see some different styles of racing, but almost got the touch there from Arvin, but Finley held on. Excellent race. Really impressed by his third 50 there. Just to give himself that distance on the rest of the field.
Yeah, I was talking with Alison earlier about swimmers experience in their early years in a university setting. We were talking about Millie Mainwaring in particular, how she's thriving in Glasgow, but I think Finlay is another example of that. He seems to have really thrived since going to Edinburgh.
Absolutely. Edinburgh do a fantastic job at taking swimmers in from club programs and improving most of the swimmers they get in. Danny, Chris, Matt do an excellent job of making sure those swimmers make that progress from junior to senior swimming. They really do a great job over there.
So this is 400 freestyle, the para-final. We've seen Emma Imrie, Olivia Patterson, Isabella Haynes. Just saw Faye Rogers going to lane 4. Brooklyn Hale there in lane 5. Here's Connie Ratley in lane 6. And Tia Johnson in lane 7. So they are the 7 swimmers who will be battling this one out. So we saw in the male 100 backstroke that it was a bit of a, you wouldn't really tell because everybody was going to make it into the final. Same as this case here. But Faye Rogers, you would think, would be very much the favourite here. This is one of her favourite events. Of course, we know that she is in absolutely superb form, the S10 swimmer from University of Aberdeen Performance. So she will be in lane 4. You would expect her to be well ahead by the time this one is over. But, well, you never know. Take nothing for granted in swimming.
She's had a brilliant season so far, and especially off the back of Paralympic success. It's been excellent this season, setting world-leading times in loads of events.
Yeah, of course, World Para Championships later this year. We've not finalised the team for that yet. There's another chance to qualify in Sheffield next month, but I think you can be very sure that Faye's going to be on that team. So off they go. 8 lengths of the pool. So Faye 4:43 in the heats. Just checking on the time she came into this event on, and that is 4:34. So wasn't a bad swim whatsoever in the heats, even though she knew she would comfortably qualify. Everybody else over 5 minutes this morning. So we'll see whether anybody can stay anywhere at all close to Faye. Isabella Haynes at the moment the closest in lane 3. S9 swimmer, part of this GB Para squad that we're delighted to have coming up to Edinburgh. Really has added a lot of depth to our para finals over this weekend, and that is really terrific to see. So the Scots have real competition to go up against. So 107.64 after the 100. Faye now all over 5 seconds ahead, so it is going to be, when you're this far ahead in a race, I guess you with the 50s, it never really happened, the 50s and 100s, but theoretically speaking, let's talk, what is it about? Is it get lonely, or is it really just, right, I can just really focus on my own thing?
Well, once upon a time, I was a 400 swimmer.
Oh, right.
Back when I was a little bit younger. So I've got some experience of this, but I guess at this point it really comes down to Faye knowing her pacing. Quite often you can use the field and have a little look and see where you're sitting within the field and kind of base your pacing off that. But in this scenario, Faye's just going to have to solely rely on her internal pacing, something that I know she works on really hard with Patrick. In a home program in Aberdeen, the University of Aberdeen. So,
will she be aware of her coaches and get any sort of signal around where she's at in terms of pacing?
That's an interesting question. So, as coaches, we tend to like to give signals, but in my experience as a swimmer, I tend often not to see them. But it's nice to cheer them on anyway.
So it's more for the coach's benefit. I always laugh when they go that way, that way, that way.
Yeah,
as if the swimmer doesn't know.
Yeah, usually on a 1500 when it's a little less fast and furious, you may be able to take in some information after 15 laps of passing them. So.
And how about the scoreboard? Are you aware of that?
Only ever on backstroke I was. I used to get told off for having a little look on a 200 backstroke, so wouldn't recommend it, especially if you see a time that you're not particularly happy with. Not always useful on your final 100 on your backstroke. But
so a chance there to see lanes 3 and 5. They're having a good contest there. Isabella Haynes in 3, just ahead of Brooklyn Hale. And they're both S9, so that is a straight head-to-head contest between those two. 5:21. Isabella Haynes was quite a bit slower in the heats, so Brooklyn Hale was also faster on paper coming into this meet. So if Isabella could take her here, that would be quite a feather in her cap. But 300, 330, 84. So that was around a 1:11 and change for Faye. So we're looking in the 440s. I think probably a little bit faster than she was this morning. As I say, she took it out quite hard this morning. Didn't have to, but chose to anyway. And I'm sure that will be about the discipline of swimming fast in the heats and swimming faster in the final. Never mind what the competition's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. She's going to have to go some fast heats when she gets to the World Champs. So probably potentially some practice there for the big arena.
So let's have a look at that race for second as we see them coming up. And now it is lane 5, so that has reversed in this last 100 metres. Brooklyn Hale has now moved past Isabella Haynes and probably going with the form book there now. And you can see the other 3 there, headed by lane 6. And that is Connie Ratley, one of the other S9 swimmers. But here is Faye coming into the finish. So what's her time? 4:41.57. So that is a 2-second improvement on her heat swim. So another job well done. I'm pretty sure that will guarantee her another para gold medal. Here come second and third. And as I said, it is Brooklyn Hale now has moved clear. The 15-year-old para swimmer swimming S9. Brooklyn was third in the British Championships in the para final, so she's a talent as well. So we'll see what that 5:09 translates to in points. She came in on a 5:04, so a few seconds away from that, but not bad at all. 5:12 for Isabella, she'll be happy with that. Came into this meet on a 5:16, so a 4-second improvement on that. Here comes Connie Ratley, 5:28 for her. And Olivia Patterson, one of our Scottish para swimmers, and that is a massive PB. 5:33, came into this meet on 5:45. 5:34 in the heat, so she did most of that, but she improved on that in this final. So very good for Olivia. Tia Johnson behind her, and then Emma Imrie. But as I said, we will need to check on the points before we know for sure where the medals are going. We'll come back to you on that as we prepare for our B final. They are sitting, well, not sitting, standing at the blocks. A bit casual to sit. So we have Chloe Brotherton of South Tyneside in lane 1, Emily Rioch, University of Aberdeen in 2. Bronze medalist in the 1500 yesterday. Amelia Mardell, University of Aberdeen in 3. Jessica Arundale at Bath University in 4. Another University of Aberdeen swimmer, Mary Mischenko in 5. Lucy Hall, who came very strong swim from one of the unseeded heats to make this B final, goes for East Lothian in 6. Alice Cumming, City of Glasgow in 7, and Ava Smith of Geary in lane 8. 4:35 up to 4:42. Very strong University of Aberdeen presence here, 3 of them. And it looks like it is one of their number, Amelia Mardell, in lane 3, who's going to lead them through the 50. Chloe Brotherton off with a fast start as well. She's the youngest, well, one of 2 14-year-olds. Her in lane 1 and Ava Smith at the other side of the pool in lane 8, the Geary swimmer, both 14.
Just having a look at the start list there, it's really nice to see some real age ranges here. Got 23 all the way down to 14 years of age. Excellent to see. I see lots of people still doing distance swimming.
Yeah, Emily Rioch, the 23-year-old, real distance stalwart, and she's having some good form this season. She's been there or thereabouts for a good while, but I think is moving her swimming on this year, so that's good to see. As a 23-year-old senior swimmer, and she is gradually working herself up in this one. 4 swimmers, lanes 3, 4, 5 and 6, not too far away from the action now. Brotherton perhaps just dropping back from them, but still Amelia Mardell, the early leader, continues to lead them through 150 metres, 38.7, so 34.4 there.
This race a little bit different from the men's 200 freestyle we just watched. I guess we will have seen probably more of a combination of speed and endurance in that 200. Really tilting the scales here towards endurance for these girls here. Just the ability to be consistent over your 50s here is so important when we get onto the 400.
So how do you treat a 400? How would you coach swimmers in terms of swimming a 400? It's a middle distance event, so it's not a distance event, it's not a sprint certainly. So what's the best way to swim a 400 free?
I think there are lots of ways, but a way that I like to think of it is probably a little bit more of an arm-driven first 200, and then really start to build the legs into the back 200. Can give you a real nice balance to your race, because when you bring the legs in, ideally you'd be probably even or very close to your first 200 split. So when you bring those legs in, just gives you that extra boost on the back end of your race.
So we'll see how that works out in the second half. And Jessica Arundel looks like she's building up a head of steam now in lane 4, and she is not far away from Amelia at this point in the race. In fact, maybe just moving past her now as they come down length 6. Third place in lane 5, Mary Mischenko ahead of Lucy Hall. She's having another good race here. And then Alice Cumming behind her, City of Glasgow swimmer. But it's looking good now for Bath University's Jessica Arundel. 4:35 her time. 4:25 she came into this meeting, so she'll be certainly wanting to be faster than she was this morning. Perhaps a little disappointed she's not in the open final, I think, but you've got to make best use of the final you've got.
Really interesting to watch Jessica Arundel's technique. You can see her kick. Some of the other girls have got a little bit more of a consistent kick. Uses her kick as a little bit more of a stabilizer to her stroke, very pull driven, which is interesting. Some of the other girls really starting to bring their kick in now.
See if that changes down this final length and whether she'll move to a more driving kick. We'll see. Really happening. Certainly is from Amelia. She has got a battle on to try and hold off the swimmers in lanes 5 and 6 who are having a good contest with. Looks like Lucy Hall has just moved through into third place. Another good swim from the East Lothian swimmer. No doubt who's going to take this though. Jessica Arundel has got this one well in hand, and she's going to come in at a time of 4:32.85. So that's an improvement of about 2.5 seconds on her heat swim. It's Amelia Mardell holding on to second with a fast finish from Lucy Hall and Chloe Brotherton in lane 1, who got third and fourth respectively, 4:36s and 4:37. So both of them improving on their heat swims, so they'll be pretty happy with that, I would think. But Jess Arundel taking the B final. We get ready for the open final coming up next.
That was a really interesting watch there. Some of the girls in second to fourth really bringing in the legs at the end, but Jessica just really relying on her pull throughout most of that race there, which is, like I said, many different ways of swimming it. But that was really nice to see.
So into the open final, Amber Hinton into lane 1, representing Dumfries. Natasha Dupree for Millfield in 2. Phoebe Arbuckle of Warren de Bath in lane 3. 4 is Jess Podger, Bath University. For 5 it is Alice Forrest, Derwentside and Gateshead. In lane 6, Mari Craig of Edinburgh University. 7, Susie Monair back again after her individual medley triumph. And Lucy Hunter in lane 8 for South Lanarkshire. Again, as well as for the medals, there's going to be a fight for the junior medal. The 2 outside lanes, Amber Hinton and Lucy Hunter, will be battling for that. So keep an eye on that one as well as what goes on. Well, you'd expect the battle to be in the centre lanes. Jess Podger, as you said, the fastest qualifier, also came into this meet as the fastest entry time she did, winning the B final here in March at the Edinburgh International. She also won the B final at the British Championships, so now looking to win the Open final here in the Scottish Championships. So she was a 4:20. Of course, we have Alice Forrest, and she'll be strong, a 16-year-old from Derwent's side, and Phoebe Arbuckle, the local swimmer from Warrender, who is a very strong talent in middle and distance freestyle. Was 4th in the junior final in London. So you would think it's these 3 who are going to battle it out at the front here. Jess Podger straight away into the lead by half a second, 29.2, get a 29.8 and 29.9. They're the 3 under 30 for the opening 50. It's sometimes important to make a statement early on and say, look, I'm going to take this out, I'm going to push it hard, and, give the others something to think about.
Yeah, I think so. To kind of stamp your authority on the race and to get out ahead it's important mentally more than anything for somebody looking to post a really fast time. Just gives you that clear bit of water, so you can get quite tight when the race is close, but if you've got that clear bit of water, you can relax a little bit and really try and execute your race plan.
So Jess Podger 60.5 for her first 100. And she has opened up a lead of just a little bit more than the body length over Phoebe Arbuckle, who has the advantage at the moment over Alice Forrest, and beside Alice, Murray Craig. So those 3 not too far apart, but around 2-3 meters behind Jess Podger, who's still, once again, fastest 32.4 against Phoebe's 32.8 on that third 50. And I guess conversely, if you see somebody that's going out like that, is that a bit demoralising sometimes, particularly if you perhaps fancied you had a chance against them?
Absolutely, it can be. And then I guess at that point, one of the hardest things to do is when you're trying to chase somebody down in a race again, is to really focus on what your plan was. Try not to react too much to what's going on, but it can leave you in a difficult position, definitely.
So the gap is, what's that, about 1.6, 1.7, so it's, well, that could change in the second half here. We know Phoebe's so strong on distance swimming that she is not going to weaken. And, well, Alison Mari still up there as well. Let's just check on this one whether the gap is shrinking at all. Jess through 33.3, yep. So Phoebe took quarter of a second off that, but well, she's got a few more quarter of a seconds to take off if she's to threaten. Still about a second, or just under a second and a half back, but she's got time to do it. She's back pretty much on the toes here of Jess Podger, and still not that far back as well, Alison Mari. So these 4 well clear of all the others, but I think we could have a race on our hands here.
Absolutely. Phoebe's made up some really nice ground there, about half a body length in a 50, so that's superb from her. Set her up for this final 100.
Yeah, about 8/10 faster on that last 50, so with 2 more 50s, and they're now side by side. So now, problem is with Jess, what's she going to do about this? She knows now that Phoebe is right there beside her, maybe just edging past her now. Will she have the sprint finish? Or is this going to be Phoebe Arbuckle? She is going to hit the lead for the first time, and it's a good time to do it. At the final turn, she's up by 9/10 of a second. Well, Jess needs to find something for this last length now if she's to do anything about this. Still third place, Alice Forrest ahead of Mari Craig. They've been close all the way through. Can Jess Podger come back at Phoebe Arbuckle? I think it might be closing a little bit, but it still is the local swimmer, Phoebe Arbuckle of Warrender. We've not seen a Warrender title yet this week. It's going to be close. It is closing in, but it is Phoebe Arbuckle. The cloud here in Edinburgh like that for 18:27, and that is 4.5 seconds faster than she was in the heats. And in fact, that I think is probably a best time for Phoebe. She came into the meet on a 4:20.39, the time she did it in London. So take that down at this stage of the season to 4:18. You have to say, wow.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a really nice swim to set her up for swim she has in the summer. I'm guessing at Scottish Summer Meet and the British Summer Meet.
I don't think she'll be at the Scottish Summer Meet. I think it'll be Sheffield all the way for Phoebe.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Maybe a bit of speculation there, but I thought the way she made a move on Jess from 250 metres to 350 metres was excellent. Must have been I'm guessing a deliberate tactic there to really go during that form of the race. Jess did crawl her back a little bit on that last 50. I think she was 0.4 quicker Jess on that last 50, but Phoebe gave herself enough space to get the win there, so that was superb.
Yeah, well, I did think Cara Hanlon was my favourite race so far, but well, that one runs it close. Here is the presentation for the male 200 breaststroke. Of course, no para competition here. So your medalists: bronze, second bronze for Joshua Mitchell of Edinburgh University. Silver, really good, solid swim, I think, from Callum Melville. Not quite able to catch Christian in the end, but he ran him close. 2:18.34, University of Stirling swimmer. And it is Christian Ryan is our Scottish Open champion, but because he's not a Scot, Callum Melville will pick up the Scottish gold medal. So congratulations to him. Sure he'll have Glasgow in his mind next year. And your junior final, we're talking about him with Alison earlier, Lachlan Small, brilliant to make the Open final and then to go faster in the Open final than he did in the heat. So a really terrific swim from Lachlan. You must be excited about him in the Stirling programme.
Absolutely. What I was most impressed with there, he was in the A final. The boy inside of him in lane 2 was probably 5-6 metres ahead, but his ability to still execute the race plan we discussed was what was really impressive. Shows a good level of maturity at 16 to be able to do that. He's also quite unusual, very talented breaststroker and freestyler. Not that common in the swimming world, so that's an exciting one. It's just a really exciting prospect, and so young as well. So we'll see where he can get in the future.
Yeah, watch this space with Lachlan. So here now are our female 200 breaststroke medalists, and it's an Edinburgh University 1-2-3, Hannah Bolias, second bronze medal. And Anna Morgan, her second silver medal. And it was a storming swim from Cara Hanlon, really shut the cobwebs out of the place. 2:26.30, really strong win for her second gold medal. And there's Millie Searle of Geary, just 14 years old, taking the junior medal. So congratulations to Millie, congratulations to the Edinburgh University trio, particularly Cara with that excellent swim.
Super impressive to take the junior title with 2 more years to go in that age group, so that's great stuff from Millie.
Yeah, I think she is a very exciting talent from Geary, and Geary's such a strong programme, bringing out not renowned powers for breaststrokers, but Millie, I think, is really an exciting prospect for them.
Edinburgh University showing their strength and depth in the breaststroke as well.
Yeah, as they have done for so many years, haven't
Absolutely.
they? Female breaststroke in particular, but of course for some very strong male ones as well. We saw Archie Goodburn, of course, yesterday.
Yeah.
So 50 fly is next up, so we move our focus to the other end of the pool, and there's your line up for the B final, Logan van der Merlen for Stirling Swimming, Harry Robinson for Crawley, Alfie Price of Orkney, Tom Bealey, University of Aberdeen, Harry Morgan Hughes, Bath University, Rory McKinnon, City of Glasgow. Then it is Nathaniel Shanubi for University of Stirling and James Kilpatrick for Carnegie. So just checking everyone's there, and it looks like they are. So entry times here, well, heat times 25.4 to 25.9. So this will be very fast indeed, this and the open final to follow it. And we'll see how it works out. So Tom Bealey, winner in the 200 fly yesterday, not really his thing, a sprint, but very interesting to see how he goes here, how fast he can take this one out. Will one of the others get the better of him? So off the start, good start in 2 from Crawley's Harry Robinson. And now, well, the centre lanes are getting into gear. Tom in 4, Harry in 5, Nathaniel Shanubi also going well, and lane 3 as well, and that is Alfie Price. And Alfie takes it, 25.04. And he will be the leading junior on the back of that. 25.6 his time in the heat, so take over half a second off that. I think he'll be pretty happy about that. 25.26 was his entry time, so he did that at national age groups, winning that. So a couple of tenths knocked off that there. So Alfie will be another junior title for him.
Superb the way he moved through that second 25 there. It was a little bit down on the start, but moved through the race really nicely.
So into the open final, Aidan Kay, City of Glasgow in 1. Here's Thomas Carswell from Edinburgh University, the Welshman, experienced swimmer, in lane 2. Brogan Hyde from University of Stirling in 3. Kieran Lennox, this is the only swim he might be doing here. Certainly he's opted out yesterday, so we'll see what he does here. Fastest qualifier. 5 is Gregor Swinney, swam for Scotland in this one in Birmingham. Jamie Robertson, University of Stirling in 6. Brodie Gordon Gibson in 7 for Edinburgh University, and his teammate Tom Robertson goes in lane 8. So you would, well, I don't know on this one. Gregor Swinney certainly is the swimmer with a lot of experience in the fly. Jamie Robertson, very experienced fly sprinter. Kieran Lennox we saw in very good form in the heat. So you think it's these 3. Brogan Hyde?
Yeah, Brogan was very good at the British Championships just recently in the A final. His first time going 23, so he's coming in with some good swims behind him. So we'll see.
This is, well, wide open, I think is the phrase. Let's see how it works out. So off they go. Out of the dive. And Kieran Lennox, well, he's looking really serious about this one in the white cap in lane 4. Suddenly has the early lead. Can they come back in the final 15? Lane 3 is Brogan Hyde, and he's right up there. So in lane 5 is Gregor Swinney. It's these 3. Is it going to be Gregor? It is going to be Gregor. 24.28. And that was a super swim there. Gregor Swinney showing he's still got it. 3/4 tenths inside his entry time. Just 2 tenths away from his entry time. Brodie Gordon Gibson getting second. Didn't mention him. You think of him as a longer distance fly swimmer, but he takes silver. And Jamie Robertson, the bronze.
Yeah, some well-timed finishes there from Gregor, Brodie and Jamie. Getting a hand on the wall, finishing on that full stroke with that arm fully extended. Some of the others we maybe mentioned were finishing on a short or a really long stroke and gliding in, so maybe those boys showing their experience there. Excellent stuff.
So female 50 butterfly is next to go, and we have a little treat for you here, because swimming on her own in our para final here, it is Team GB Paras, Iona Winifred. So let's see what she can do here. 39.51. She'll be doing this on her own. Hopefully the crowd will really get behind her. That's because she'll need all the encouragement here. She swims S7. So in this 50 butterfly, did 39.51 in the heats. Just checking what her entry time was, 37.97. So see if she can get anywhere close to that. She did win this event down in London. She swam it in the Paralympic Games, just missed the final, 10th place overall. 5th recently in Barcelona in the Para World Series, so she knows her way about a 50 fly. Just so young, 14 years old. So let's see how she goes here. Quickly into her rhythm. Showing nice coordination across the body.
Absolutely. She's getting those quick breaths in, just lifting the head, keeping that chin as close to the water as she can. Trying to keep her stroke rate nice and high. She's doing a great job so far.
And swimming, what, every 2 to 3? Breathing, rather.
Yeah, breathing every
now
2
to maybe slightly less so. So she's coming in really fast here. And that's a good swim, 36.88. So that is superb there. And that, I think, is the best time for her. Over a second faster than she was in London.
So exciting, Iona. Obviously so young, just so much potential there, and almost seems like every time she gets in the pool, she improves on her time. So really nice to see her get her head down in that final 5 for a really strong finish.
She seems to have a really fantastic attitude as well. Very realistic, I think, about her life as a swimmer, which is remarkable for a 14-year-old. Absolutely superb.
Yeah, so positive. It's great to see.
So now to the B final. We've got Emma Scobie, Olivia Newman-Baroni, says para swim, but not a para event for the S14. So she's made her way into the B final. Chloe Harris, Emily Maxwell, Helen Sharrett, Ruth Fowler, Amber Hinton, and Jade Blake. 28.5 to 29.1. Times here. So let's see how that one works out. Fastest qualifier, Emily Maxwell, didn't get the best start there in lane 4, so she's got to do a lot of catch up here. It's lane 6, Ruth Fowler, who has the lead with 10 to go. Is she going to hold on to it? It's getting tight now. They're all coming at her. Can she keep it? No. Well, Emily Maxwell with that really poor start, but she came through, 28.36. I thought that would be her out of it because she was, a good metre behind out of the dive. But she came through very strongly to take it 28.36, and that is faster by a quarter of a second than she was in the heat. So well done, Emily.
Must have some incredible swim speed on her to make up that distance on the rest of the field. Also amazing to see Olivia in that final as a para swimmer qualifying for a B final. Super stuff.
So on to the open final. Lane 1, Orkney's Eve Wood. Catherine Renfrew just going into lane 2 for Perth City. Abigail McInerney, already seen her on the podium as a junior title. Inver Clyde in 3. Kira Schlossem, watch a superb 200 fly she did yesterday. She goes in 4. Teammate Faith Uder in 5. There's Holly Widows back again for Mount Kelly in 6. Josephine Klein for University of Stirling in 7. And Ailey Robertson of South Ayrshire in lane 8. So Kira Schlossen was a lot faster than anybody else in the heat, so it's maybe quite hard to see past her in this one. Did a 26.68 at the time. I think was a Scottish record at the British Championships, but Kiana McInnes has then gone past that, 26.46. So Kira won't be far away from that. Be interesting to see whether she does have a go for it. Yeah, she has been in fantastic form. So let's see what we're going to get from her. Can anyone else challenge her? Catherine Renfrew, Abigail McInerney, Faith Uda. Oh, I think be battling for medals. So through the dive rather. And out of it they come. Well, fairly close here, but now we're starting to see Kira making her move, and she's up by about a metre. Real beautiful rhythm as she comes in down the stretch here, and she is up by about a body length. There's anybody's race for second here, but it is 26.62, so that is only 1600ths away from the Scottish record there. That was another fantastic swim from Kira, faster than she did taking bronze at the British Championships. And Catherine Renfrew, I have a very delighted mum sitting next to me on the venue commentary, who's getting really quite, well, let's say excited about Catherine Renfrew there getting a silver medal, and Faith Yuda the bronze there. So what did you think there about Kira's swim? A lot to be impressed about.
Yeah, really driving those arms forward, the way she gets all that momentum going down the pool with every stroke, the timing, the technique, that was really impressive. Catherine as well, super swim, and like you said, nice to see the mum get really excited there. It's things like that that make swimming so enjoyable when you see the passion behind it.
Absolutely, when you work so hard and you get the reward. So getting the reward now are our 200 freestylers. So these are your para medalists, and the bronze medal goes to Harry Stewart, Team GB Para. Silver medalist Ria Rogers, Basildon and Phoenix. And the gold and Scottish champion number 2 of the night for City of Glasgow's Louis Lawler.
That was a great race earlier. Really enjoyed watching that one.
Yeah, it was such a shame about that DQ, but Jason van der Merwe. But, well, 200 freestyle, you've got to swim it legally.
Absolutely.
And Louis Lawler taking advantage of that. Now to the open final medalists, and this was another real close one. Here are our medalists. Bronze medalist from the University of Stirling, Henry Baker. Silver medalist from the University of Stirling, Arvin Chahal. The gold medalist from Edinburgh University is Finlay Clubb. So a strong swim from Finlay, really had to battle for that gold. And the junior title goes to Connor Aspinall of East Lothian. That's his first junior title of the weekend. 16-year-old from East Lothian. He'll be hoping, I think, for more in one of the distance events.
Absolutely.
Still to come.
East Lothian have a good record of producing good 200 freestylers. You know, for Luke Hornsey, Stefan Kraviec, Jamie does a great job over there with his male freestylers. Excellent work.
Yeah. And we're going to see one of them coming up pretty soon after our next presentation, but we'll hold our fire on that because we now have the presentation for female 400 freestyle. Again, we will be starting off with the para medalists. So just waiting for them to come up to the podium. And here they come. So the bronze medal goes to the Team GB Para team member, Isabella Haynes. The silver medalist in the S9 category as well, Brooklyn Hale. So that battle between those two eventually went Brooklyn's way. She had to work hard for it, but it's another para title for Faye Rogers of the University of Aberdeen Performance. 825 para points, 441.57 her time. just words fail you sometimes. Just the abilities of some of our athletes.
Absolutely, she can do it all. Literally medley, freestyle, fly. It's also just great to see some para-finals. Having coached some para-swimmers myself, it's nice to see para-swimmers get the opportunity to get a second swim. I mean, like this.
And now to our open medalists. And the bronze medal goes to Alice Forrest, Dermot and Gateshead. The silver medal to Bath University's Jessica Podger. It was a good tussle, but in the end it was Warren de Bar swimmer Phoebe Arbuckle who came through. So she is our Scottish champion. And the junior title goes to Amber Hinton of Dumfries.
My favourite race of the night so far. We've had some brilliant ones, but to see Phoebe with, I'm going to call it a tactical masterclass on the last 150 to take the win there, I thought favourite race of the night so far, but we still have some more to come.
Okay, so you can tell us what your favourite race of the night has been, or might be still to come. So do tweet into Scottish Swimming on the hashtag. I'm not sure what the hashtag is actually. I should know that, shouldn't I? Dearie me. Right, on the investigation trail, see if I can figure that one out. I'm not sure I can. We'll set that one aside, but here come our fastest heat of the 1500 freestyle. So William Shepherd going into 1 for University of Stirling, Matthew Warburton, Bath University in 2, Arthur Logan, Edinburgh University in 3. Just talked about Luke Hornsey, formerly of East Lothian, now Edinburgh University. He's the fastest entry time going into lane 4. Cam Travis for University of Aberdeen in 5, Josh Denham, University of Stirling in 6, Ben McLaughlin, University of Aberdeen, back from Wagner College in New York in lane 7, and Callum Sinclair of Warrender in lane 8. So that is your lineup. So 15:33 fastest entry time is Luke Hornsey. I can tell you that the time that they need to beat, and I would expect that they will, is Aidan Anderson's 16:42.05. So all of these swimmers have faster entry times than that. Luke Hornsey, you would think, is the favourite here. Bronze medalist at the British Championships. Did a 15:26, that's faster than his entry time here to win that. You wouldn't expect him to be as fast as that here. 19-year-old. So he goes in lane 4. Got experienced distance swimmers either side of him. Arthur Logan, his teammate, in 3, and Cameron Travis, University of Aberdeen, in 5. So settle down for the next 15 to 16 minutes and see how this one develops. Luke straight away into the lead, but only by a quarter of a second. Going with him in lane 3 is his teammate Arthur Logan, so they train together and will know each other and their strengths and weaknesses. Not that they've got many weaknesses.
Good training partner is so important to just assisting you with swims and getting your pace in. Like I said, they'll know each other's strengths and weaknesses inside out, but so important for progression that you have a good training partner to work with you day in, day out.
So about 8/10 the gap between them early on. These two certainly taking it out aggressively. William Shepherd, University of Stirling, formerly from Perth, as third place in lane 1, just, well, pretty much with Matthew Warburton of Bath. So at the 150, it's just over 30 point for Luke. So he is pacing faster than anybody else. Logan also in 30 high. So these two could well move away from the others. Cameron Travis just struggling a bit to live up to his lane 5 billing at the moment. He's in the pack. So the biggest challenge for second place now is lane 7, Ben McLaughlin. So interesting to see how he goes after his year in America. 1:57.89, so just over the minute for Luke's second 100.
These boys just really settling into some consistent rhythms, consistent stroke counts and consistent timed 50s. See if Luke can go another 30-point low here on this 50.
30.7. So if he can maintain sort of 61, 62s, then that 15:33 entry time would be in trouble.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the challenge now, is just to go consistent on all of these 50s. See if you can hold on to that time. I'm sure his coach would have gave him that instruction throughout this race.
2:59.37, so the pace has dropped, as you'd expect that, I guess. Now it's about a 61.5, 30.7, so we're pretty much on that pace for that 50. So if he can now settle in that 61.5 territory, I think he'd be pretty happy with that. Arthur is also going very well here in lane 3. I'll just check on his pacing at this next turn. So he was 30 point high, he won't be as fast as that now. So Luke 31.0 and 31.2, so he's doing pretty well here. Not losing too much in every 50 from Luke, and he's well clear now of the rest of the pack, so this is looking good for Arthur as well. His entry time 15:51. So just give a bit of the pedigree of these swimmers. I mentioned Luke's bronze at British Championships. I think that's probably the highlight of his career so far. He was 4th here at the Edinburgh International. So he goes through here for 01.61. So that's it, in just over a 62 now.
The two boys settling on a similar pace here, both going those 31 lows. It'll be really interesting to see if they can continue to hold these as we come up to 500 metres.
Yeah, so Luke Hornsey looking to do the double, having won a short course here in December. So I'd love to be Scottish champion, short and long course. And you certainly wouldn't bet against that. Arthur Logan, 15:51 entry time, I mentioned. He did that at Bucks in February, where he was 5th. So he'll be looking perhaps to improve on that. That wouldn't be a rested time, wouldn't think. He wouldn't rest for Bucks.
No,
probably
not.
So, yeah, but I think he's got every chance perhaps of improving on that tonight. So coming up to 1/3 distance now. Luke is gradually building that lead, at 5:04.10. So about 62.5 this time. So pace just dropping a little bit. Still, that's a pretty healthy opening 500, just over the 5 minutes. Continuing to push on well. Can't see third place on the camera. We will get a view once Luke and Arthur turn. We'll see them coming back and we'll see what's going on behind these two, because there's a bronze medal at stake. You can see they're coming into shot in lane 1. It's still William Shepherd who is holding third place from beside him in lane 2, Matthew Warburton. So we will keep tabs on that one as this race progresses, as we get to see them, as we see the leaders passing by in the other direction. So 6:07.38. So yeah, the pace is just dropping. That was a 63 and a bit. So 31.8, 31.9 for Arthur. You see them all coming in. It's all pretty tight there. 4 swimmers just behind William Shepherd. So that could develop into quite an interesting contest. Won't see too much of it, I don't think, because we're going to be focusing on our 2 leaders. Then you see Luke Hornsey, 6:39, 31.6, so again a 63-ish pace.
Got up a really healthy lead, these two. Occasionally catch the rest of the field on shots passing by, but yeah, really healthy lead from these. See if Arthur can keep his pace under 32s here per 50. That'll be interesting to see.
So we talked about these 2 guys being training partners. What's their typical week's training likely to look like as distance specialists?
I imagine 9 to 10 sessions in the pool, and you're probably looking at 5,000 to 6,000 meters per session. So there's a lot of volume in there. They potentially go higher. I'm unsure where they'd be right now, but yeah, a lot of swimming volume in there. But it's so important to back you up for this kind of event. One, from a confidence point of view, but also from a physiological point of view, it's important you have plenty of volume in the tank from training.
And that's really just to build up the strength and the endurance.
Absolutely, yeah. To deal with the demands of this race, to deal with 15, 16 minutes of swimming, yeah, you need to go above and beyond from a training point of view in terms of volume and intensity.
So we saw Luke dabbling with open water a week or so ago. I think that's his first experience in open water. I don't know that he enjoyed it very much. He withdrew from one of them halfway through, so not sure what happened there. Something obviously happened. It can be a rough and ready game, open water. Male swimming in particular, but females as well. Yeah. 14.69 at 800. So still managing to go under 64s. So they're going pretty nicely here.
I think open water swimming can be a little bit like Marmite. You either absolutely love it or it's not for you.
Yeah, so we'll see whether Luke goes in that direction at all. He obviously was just trying it out and seeing how it felt, and maybe that's the way to go for him. We'll see.
Good pedigree in that event in Britain. Jack Burnell, probably a name that springs to mind. So some really nice pedigree in previous years on the open water swims.
So this next turn will be 900 meters. And Luke going through it just under the 9:18, 9:17, 9:9. So again, just a little over 63. So 600 to go. So if he was to do level 63s, it would be 6:18 to add on to 9:18 roughly. So what would that be? 15:36. So his entry time 15:33 is certainly in that ballpark, because you'd expect him to speed up towards the end.
Yeah, Luke traditionally has, from what I've seen of him, quite a big kick on the last 50. Really goes to the leg kick and powers home. So be good to see if he can do that today. Yeah, it's been they've really settled now, these two. I think we're seeing the evidence of all the training they're doing. They've been in within half a second of all of their splits, probably for the last 10 50s now. So super impressive stuff here.
I'm very impressed that Arthur Logan is not letting Luke get away here. So that gap, you see, they're pacing exactly the same pace there, and there's still only 4.5 seconds between them. So this is very impressive from Arthur.
Absolutely. I think there's, especially in distance swimming, you really want to keep in touch as best as you can, especially if you're trying to chase somebody down. You almost pass them in a pool at a point, and you almost want to hold them to that point, turn on turn. So I think Arthur will be doing that right now.
31.9 and 32.3, so just a little bit picked up by Luke on that. Way down the pool to the turn end. And I think if Arthur can hold this, I think he's Post quite a nice improvement on his entry time. As I said, time done in Bucks in February. And in Sheffield, 11:25.98 for Luke. Again, just over the 103. 400 to go. 11:31, so we focus in then. So what are you seeing in terms of Luke's style, technique there? Interesting way his arms are into the water.
Yeah, so what we've seen from most of the freestyle today is kind of that high elbow recovery. You can see it over the top of the water as his arms are coming over. You can see the elbow being the highest point. His left arm maybe swings around a little more, whereas his right arm kind of comes over the top of his shoulder. But I think one interesting one for me to look at here is he's had a pretty consistent kick throughout. Can really vary with distance swimming. You can see people kind of, I've mentioned it before in the commentary, use it as a stabilizer or use it to power their way through the whole race.
Yeah, so thinking with Jess Arundel earlier, that was a stabilizer,
yeah.
But Luke is using it as a motor.
100%.
So the pace just dropped a little bit now to more like 64s. Maybe just a little bit over that 15:33 entry time now. But, if we assume that he is focusing on Sheffield in a month's time, where would you expect him to be at this point in the season?
I mean, we're about just under a month out now, so probably in his preparation phase. He would have done his more general work previous in the season, but now he's probably really focusing on his race pace, doing a lot of work in training, actually kind of nailing down this pacing or target pacing of where he wants to be.
So this is a fantastic opportunity to test that in a race environment where he knows he's likely to win, but he's, can really work on all the little details.
Absolutely.
So just 200 to go, 13:34. So he'd need to come back in 2 minutes dead to match his entry time. That's not going to happen. So he's probably going to be, 6 or 7 seconds off that.
Yeah. I think we can expect the big kicks, the big kick at the end. As I said, he has a very strong kick, and it's such a tool on a 1500 to be able to use. If he can really go to the leg kick on the last 50, we may see a sub 30, but I guess only time will tell with that.
So 32 there. 32.7 for Arthur. So it'll be the bell turn next time. Let's just check on the other swimmers going the other way, and you see William Shepherd looking very good for third now. He's well clear of Matthew Warburton in lane 2. So Luke takes the bell. 14:38. Arthur 14:46. It's good that he's kept within 10 seconds, means that we are still getting to see Arthur's splits as well as Luke's. Once it goes beyond 10, you only see the leaders. So that's excellent. Coming up now to the final turns for our leading two. So we know it's going to be an Edinburgh 1-2. We know who's going to get the 1, who's going to get the 2. 15:10. It's a little bit faster on that 50, under 32. Now let's see what he does in this final 50. Is he going to really pick it up? Will he get under 30 here?
Just see him start to lift that stroke rate with the arms, start to move him a little faster. Really interesting to see where he goes on this final 50.
So here he comes into the final 5 meters and stops the clock, 15:40.2. So a very good race. You can see there a 30.1 on his final 50, so very nearly under the 50. What a great swim from Arthur Logan, 15:50. So he is inside his box time by about 1.8 seconds. So congratulations, Arthur. Well earned silver medal. Here comes William Shepherd. Now he has entered 16:20. We don't have a running clock here, so we're not able to see where he is against that, but let's see if he can get under that. Here he comes. It's the bronze medal. And a time of 16:19, so he did. He knocks about a second and a half off entry time. Fourth in, Matthew Warburton. Really tight for fifth there. Just went to Ben McLaughlin from Josh Denham. 16:28.10, 16:28.29. Swim for 16.5 minutes, and you're separated by 1900s. Swimming could be a cruel game sometimes.
Yeah,
Cam Travis, 16:42, not his night tonight. And here comes our final swimmer, that's Callum Sinclair. He was entered 16:36, so he's not going to be hugely away from that. The Warrender swimmer, National Age Group bronze medalist, brings this race to a close, 17:04.
Really great stuff from Will Shepherd there, from an outside lane. Getting that third position. It's always tough to do it in an outside lane, tough to race. But excellent work, excellent job.
Just confirming all of those three were faster than the earlier heats. I can also confirm that Aidan Anderson at University of Aberdeen from the afternoon heats will be the junior champion. We'll see their presentations in due course. I think first off, though, we're going to have the presentation for our next events, which are the 50 butterflies, male and female. Still have the relay to come, of course, so do stay tuned, because that is going to be exciting. We have that Scottish Club record in the medley relay last night. Can we finish off with another one tonight in the mixed freestyle relay? Just waiting for our swimmers to come out for presentation for the 50 butterfly. So here they come, our 50 butterfly medalists. Making presentations is Susan Liddle, and the bronze medal goes to University of Stirling's Jamie Robertson. The silver for Edinburgh University, Brodie Gordon Gibson. And the gold, and Scottish national champion Gregor Swinney of City of Glasgow. And the junior champion from Orkney is Alfie Price.
Sure, Alfie will have the Island Games coming up.
Yep.
In the next couple of months.
Yes, he will. So that's coming up not too far from now, about 3 weeks' time. And Orkney hosting it, of course. So we saw Shetland doing it a number of years ago. Last time, 3 years out. It's run every 3 years. It's Guernsey, the last hosts. I think they're going to the Faroe Islands next time.
Oh, wow.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Faroes with a pretty strong swimming tradition, particularly distance swimmers. Remember Paul Jönsson?
Well, maybe a little bit before my time, but I do know the name.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they've got a strong pedigree there.
Yeah. So yes, we'll see them in the Orkney. But here come the 50 butterfly medalists. And your bronze medalist from Edinburgh University is Faith Yuda. Silver medalist from Perth City, Catherine Renfrew. And the gold medalist in that super time, 26.62, Edinburgh University's Kira Schlossen. And fourth overall, a very impressive time, 27.89, Inverclyde's Abigail McInerney is our junior champion. I said before, not for the first time, and here she is again. So she's got a right old stack of junior medals this weekend.
Take a lot of confidence from a meet like this as you go into the rest of the summer. Excited to see what she can do.
And one more presentation to make here. That's super swim all on her own from the GB Para team. Your Para gold medalist and champion, Iona Winifrith. Yeah, super swim. She's getting used to that, how to show a medal off.
Absolutely, yeah.
She'll be doing that quite a lot of times in her swimming career, I think.
No, I'm sure she will. Get used to the photos afterwards as well and the interviews.
Yep.
Always does it with a smile on her face, which is nice to see.
And that's half the battle, and it just makes people want her to do well, isn't it?
Absolutely,
Yeah. And, well, it's going to be very interesting now to see what happens in our final race of the evening, which is going to be the mixed 4x100 meters freestyle relay. So we again had first two heats. That was swum this morning. I can tell you the fastest time from those was the Sterling swimming team, 3:53.54. Certainly would expect that time to be comfortably beaten here. So the lineup you've got on your screen there, City of Glasgow, and that's a junior team going in lane 1. University of Aberdeen, that's their B team in lane 2. City of Glasgow B team in 3. Edinburgh University in lane 4. University of Aberdeen A team in 5. Heart of Midlothian in 6. Sterling Swimming A team in 7. And South Ayrshire in lane 8. So just for information here, the Scottish club record, they'd have to do a 3:38. Edinburgh University entered on a time of 3:33. Oh, there's a lot of noise coming from the gallery here behind the Edinburgh team, so let's see what they can do. We smashed that Scottish record last night, the club record. And here we go. 8 teams, all going for it. Freestyle all the way. It looks like they've all started off with men. Rory McKinnon of City Glasgow, Micah Van Blerk, Aberdeen University B, City Glasgow B with Finlay Sang, Edinburgh University Scott Gibson, the backstroker doing freestyle here. Kieran Lennox for University of Aberdeen A, Hearts with James Lauder, Sterling Swimming, Logan van der Merlen, South Ayrshire with Hamish Maxwell. So it is Edinburgh University leading by nearly a second already. We think of Scott Gibson as a backstroker, but we know he's a good freestyle sprinter as well, and he's using that expertise here to good effect. Going well in lane 1, that's Rory McKinnon for City of Glasgow, and in lane 7, that's Sterling Swimming's Logan van der Merlen. But it is Edinburgh University at the first changeover, 50-58. In the water now for them is Finlay Club, who we saw earlier in that freestyle event. Still being pushed by City of Glasgow. Aidan Kay on the second leg for them. Again, it's all males on this second leg as well. Still, looks like Sterling holding on with Magnus Morris in third place over in lane 8 from lane 7 beside him. Oh, well, in fact, no, I think that is Heart of Midlothian, in fact, in lane 7 that are in third place, so I called that wrong. But it is now still Edinburgh University by about 5 metres as we go to the females, 1:41.17. And the first of them for Edinburgh University is Drew Mackenzie. City of Glasgow have Melissa Mainwaring, fresh from her win in the backstroke. So going well is Hearts in. I was right before. It was Sterling Swimming. I'm getting myself totally confused here. Perry Scobie on the first of the female legs, leg 3. So she was looking to try and hold on to third place here. Does have Hearts fairly close to her though. For Hearts it is Orla McInnes. But Edinburgh University and building up on their lead here. So this is a good strong swim here from Drew. She is going to hand over to Katie Goodburn for the anchor leg in 2:37.15. So 3:38 is the club record time, so she needs to do a 61 here. Katie, can she do that? City of Glasgow, Ciara Morris, still very confident for second place. It is now lane 6, Heart of Midlothian. Layla Weatherspoon on the anchor leg, just ahead of Sterling Swimming's Ellen White and University of Aberdeen's Mary Mischenko. But let's just focus now as we come down. That was a 27 point for Katie for her first 50, so that's a good place to be if she is to get this record. And remember, that record stands 3:38.36, the Scottish club record. What can they do here as we watch Katie coming in here? She is coming up to the final 5 metres, the clock in the 3:30s. She is going to get this. It is another Scottish club record. What a way to finish night 2. 3:35.33, takes 3 seconds off the record standard. And so she gets it. It was City of Glasgow second, very tight for third there. Just 600s in it, University of Aberdeen. Just touching out Heart of Midlothian. So great anchor leg there from Mary Mischenko to edge it onto the podium for University of Aberdeen.
Super dominant swim there from Edinburgh, that was excellent. And then Glasgow as well with a comfortable second on the outside. Best race there was that one for third between Uni of Aberdeen and Heart of Midlothian. That was an excellent race that came down to the final 5. Super stuff. Really exciting way to end the night.
Yeah, so a great way to finish us off.
Been a great addition, those mixed relays. We've seen all the tactics there. Most of the teams going 2 boys at the front. I think the only team was South Ayrshire, who alternated male and female, but most of the teams putting the males at the front and trying to get that lead, trying not to be in the wash or get any waves. So
yeah, that's now sort of developed, I suppose, into the standard way to do it. I think early on there were a few that wanted to finish off with the males to try and come charging through, but that's probably not a good tactic.
Yeah, you particularly see it on the medley where you may be having to pick and choose your best swimmers, so you might lead off with a female on backstroke, but certainly on these freestyle mixed relays, they tend to go male, male, female, female.
So that means that we are done for our swimming. We still have that presentation to make though, so do hold on for that. With the 1500 presentation, and that will be followed by that relay presentation. I'm just looking down to see who the leading junior team is in that relay. And I'm thinking that is City of Glasgow, who were 11th overall. So we'll confirm that, but I'm pretty sure City of Glasgow are the junior team. But here are our medalists for the 1500 freestyle. So what a great set of swims we had in that one. And just confirming there, your medalists. Bronze medalist, just making sure he gets into the right place. William Shepherd, University of Stirling. So he takes bronze, 16.19. Arthur Logan, super swim for the silver medal, 15.50.09. And your gold medalist and Scottish national champion, also from Edinburgh University, is Luke Hornsey. 15.40.20 his time, and a junior champion, swam brilliant swim, 8th overall, was the fastest in the afternoon heats, University of Aberdeen's Aidan Anderson. So he gets his junior medal.
Feel for Will Shepherd there. Sometimes it can be difficult to know where the bronze and silver podium is, particularly if they're not labelled. It can be a tricky one to work out. Funny moment though.
Yeah, it's a tough life being a swimmer, having to figure out whether you go right or left.
It's a first world problem.
So very quick out there. Obviously want to get into that swim down pool quickly are medalists from that relay. This will be our final presentation of the night. SASA Vice President Tony Dane once again doing the honours here. So the bronze medalists by a fraction, University of Aberdeen Performance Squad. And their team are Kieran Lennox, Cameron Travis, Amelia Mardell and Mary Mischenko. Silver medalists. Oh, get all those medals out there. Now to the silver medalists. City of Glasgow. And their team, Rory McKinnon, Aidan Kay, Nassamine Waring, and Ciara Morris.
Just noticed there Cameron Travis in the relay team, not long out of that 1500. That's it's a tough double for anybody.
Yeah, well, he kept his team in with the hunt of the medal, and it worked for them. And your new Scottish Club record holders and gold medalists, Edinburgh University. So 2 mixed relays, 2 Scottish Club records, medley and freestyle. The lineup here: Scott Gibson, Findlay Club, Drew Mackenzie and Katie Goodburn.
Nice to
so
see
that record time now stands at 3:35.33.
Nice to see Scott as a traditional backstroker showing off his freestyle powers there, but if you're a talented swimmer you tend to be good at many things.
Yeah, I have seen him do 53 a number of times. I'm not sure I've seen him do the 100, but he certainly went off very fast in the opening leg there of that relay. So thank you very much, Martin. It's been a pleasure with you and Alison. The first time I've double teamed in a session, but it's been a thrill. It's been really enjoyable from both of you. Thank you very much. I hope you'll come again.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was great fun. Look forward to doing it again, hopefully. Thanks,
we still, of course, have one more day to come, day 3, so please do be there. We'll be coming on air shortly before our heat start at 9 o'clock. 8:55, we hope to see you there. But for now, from the Royal Commonwealth Pool, we'll wish you a very good evening.